Alright. We should be good. So once again, it is Tuesday. We have made it to Tuesday again. And because we made it to Tuesday, there we go. And because we made it to Tuesday, it's DDO day again. So we are once again on the warlock. There's not a whole lot to be said about it. We did run some off stream. We did Ravenloft, so there's that. But yeah. So we did hit level 12, but we haven't gotten our T5s yet because we actually don't care about them that much. I preferred to actually have my dice. Is that a good decision? Maybe, maybe not. The fact remains, I do plenty of damage with my blasting, and I want sprint boost, and I want the dice. So we're just not doing our T5s for now. Alright, so the question is, what are we going to run today? Because, as I mentioned, we did do all of Ravenloft, and we are level 12, which means we're looking at level 10 or 11 quests. The thing is that there aren't a ton in that range that are really good to run, unless there's a what? Unless there's a raid up. Nope, no raid up. And then, yeah, so no Vaughn raid. And then, you know, I could jump ahead a little bit, but I think we're going to hit Sands. So we're going to go to our guild airship, and we're going to head to Sands. Now, ideally what we would do is we would actually get, like, curse and disease pots before heading to Sands. But who does that? Who actually goes in prepared to get hit by mummy rot? All I need to do is just not get hit by mummy rot. So we're just going to grab these quests and get on our way. Now, I'm not going to do the thing where I split it between like the level 11s and the level 12s. We're just going to do all of them while we're here. It's just, I'm going to move on relatively quickly anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But actually, we should do our rolls. Okay. Not terrible. Okay. And we're off. Now, as we are not doing anything special, any sort of challenge, we will be running public groups, so if you are on Cannith and you're in this level range, feel free to join in. I'm just going to let them be auto public group options because I don't want to manage it otherwise. So that's what we're going to do, and it's how we're going to move forward. And then, let's see, for leveling, I think I'm just going to start putting more points into Soul Eater to gradually get us closer to our T5s, which we'll take eventually.
This is the final resting place of a once great hero, his remains and legacy long since forgotten.
And fortunately, we do have buffs now. Particularly, we have Death Ward now.
Evil chants and demonic voices.
And, of course, and I'm immediately seeing, because I guess they're champions or they have true seeing. In either case, we can wait for them to group up, and then we'll kill them at the first fire thing here. So, one of the tricks here is that... What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Ah, yes. Some of these demons, like the Kako demons, they have Vorpal. And you can die to them instantly if you don't have Death Block. You don't need Death Ward to stop it, because it is a instant death effect, not a level drain. But still, it's it can be pretty rough if you are not prepared, or if, like, you had, say, swapped in a different item for some reason. Like, in my case, before I had Death Ward up, what I had was, oh, well, I'm just wearing a Death Block cloak, but cloak is also the slot that I swap in Featherfall. Not that big a deal on this life because I can hardcast Featherfall, so not really a big deal. But it is something that has gotten me killed before. It's just like, oh, right. That's my item swap. I didn't have Death Block up. That's on me. And because I just recently put points in it, I do keep forgetting to use my Stricken and Consume speed boost. So we'll get better about that as we adjust to actually having it again. But until then, just gotta light all these torches. And then we're off. We're not going to try doing the invisibility thing again, since we want to just, like, blast some stuff on the way this time. Yay, Fear Reaper. And one of the reasons we're trying to blast more on the way is I did want more stacks. More stacks for temp health. Let's see, not that way, this way. Might as well pop it now. See, that is a Plague Reaper. Because our sustain is mostly temp health based, not healing based, Plague Reapers aren't as dangerous to us as they might be to some other builds. Okay, so Pentacles. And fortunately, there's a lot of fire-based stuff in here. So it's pretty easy for us to kill as an ice build.
The hero lies here in repose. His mummified, a dark figure rises above the corpse of the fallen hero.
Oh wait, I think this quest... I forget if this quest completes when I kill him, or when I talk to the guy after I kill him. I think it's when I talk to the guy, but just in case, we're gonna wait until the person who just joined zones in. Until both the people who just joined zone in. I would just start using heal scrolls, but I don't have that many, actually. I ended up using some in parties over the weekend. It's interesting that blocks this like Wraith debuff. Like, I know it blocked some things, but this particular one I did not know about, so that's interesting. What is our block damage reduction? Because we did hit level 11, so we do have our fancy boots with 15 DR on them, so that's good for us. And what is our blocking? Oh, right, we only have an orb, not a shield, so we don't get any extra, like... Let's see... Oh, that's right, we get saving throws and resists when we block, not damage reduction. But, well, we have damage reduction from the boots anyway, so no big deal. Okay, so that's one in. Yeah, that's the warlock in. And after that... It's, we just need to wait for our druid friend here to zone in. That lock is healthier than me. I wonder if they're a constitution-based, like, tank lock. Because I've seen a couple of those around recently. Oh, I see 2 dots on the map. Is the dot moving, though? The dot is moving. There we go. We'll wait a couple seconds, because I did say to get voices on, but I don't know if they heard me yet or not. There we go. And now, because there are people with me, I think I will actually do the 11s first and separate them. Just because when one person joined, they asked if I was doing the walk-ups, and I said yes, so we're going to stick to that a little bit. Ah, he is more tank-based. He's even got a shield on. Got a lot more health than me outside of Reaper. It's like 150, which, you know, wouldn't be a ton at cap. But at this level, that's pretty hefty. Oh, I know what it is. I know what the big chunk of that is. If he's in the T5s, I believe they have... Where is it? Which one is it? Is it this one? No. I need to be looking at Enlightened Spirit.
This tomb is the resting place of Ramat the physician.
Do they not have... I was trying to think if they were like a melee class that got a big enhancement bonus to health in T5s. I thought they did. Like, I didn't think it was the full bonus. I thought it was like 15 or 20, but we shall see.
Toward you from the wreckage of its sarcophagus.
And because we're in a party, I don't need to group things up. I just need to chip everything down to half health as I run by. Or maybe I did need to do more killing. Because people are not finishing off as many as I thought they would. Unfortunately, some of this stuff is resistant to cold, which ruins a lot of my plans.
This decrepit chamber was built to hold the remains of the servant class.
I'm pretty sure this one is always the optional.
Bare feet across the floor alert you to a walking corpse. Its once beautiful face is now a ruin of decay.
Okay, that's a Fear Reaper, which is fine, no big deal. Just gonna tank that. Throw down some tentacles behind us. Axel, hello, welcome. Thank you for the raid. We are just getting started this evening. We're leveling our Carceri Storm Warlock over here on Cannith. And how are you? How was your stream? Yes, we'll pick that up. And we'll finish out. Yay. So what were you up to? I'm guessing probably DDO? And if so, are you doing melee cleric things? What you up to? Let's see. We're not close to capping. We've got like 3-4 ranks of wiggle room here. Ah, hand-wrapped monk. Normal monk or the dragon disciple variant? I've seen a lot of dragon disciples wrapped. Ah, normal. I see. I guess that makes sense if you were raiding Although I suppose it's now been out long enough that it's not outside of the realm of possibility that you would be at cap on it. Especially since there is the whole option to be normal monk and then lesser reincarnate and be dragon disciple. Because, well, you can do that. You don't even need a heart for it. You just kind of, well, okay, you need a heart, but not a plus heart.
This decrepit chamber
Plan is not going quite to plan, because I thought, yeah, I'll just chip things down as I go, and the other party members will finish them off, and we won't get dungeon alert. And that plan is not working out exactly as I had planned, but presumably it will eventually. I think it is being hampered slightly by the fact that I think people split, so we're all going different directions and only killing half the guys in each direction, which does tend to get you purple alerted a little bit quicker. Fortunately, there's no red named at the end of this that's going to get ridiculous defenses from being in a purple alert, so it's not as big a deal. Also not that big a deal. And someone else finds the burial chamber, and we can just E-door out. Great success.
within this ancient structure.
And we're off to grab a bunch of things that are going to fill up our inventory. Speaking of which, it's time to dump stuff, because I didn't sell while I was in town. Oh, wait, no. Good thing I have that locked. That is my unbound level 2 throwing weapon that I keep on hand for doing things like hitting levers. Because it sucks to be in a quest that's like, okay, now lower that bridge by throwing something and hitting the thing over there. It's just like, Well, that's unfortunate. I don't have the thing. Now, usually in these cases, there's going to be a bow and like a dozen arrows in a little thing off to the side. But I tend to prefer the throwing weapon just for safety's sake. Okay, and here we are in the mines. And we get to go off into the mines and do mine things, I suppose. Now, at some point, I thought about actually learning this place in an optimal way, like, okay, what is the best order to go about these things? And I'm not going to bother thinking about that right now, because we're in a group. And presumably, whichever way I go, there'll be people going other ways. And that's all I'm going to do for optimizing. We have people going down multiple routes, and that is enough. Oh, more ore? More fire elementals to be hit by cold damage, maybe? Oh, there's one. Very good. It has been nice how there have been lots of different fire things that take extra from the cold. On the downside, basically every skeleton is immune to cold. So that does put a damper on things. Alright, someone got the Jacinth and the Fire Opals. I got the Impure Ingots, which means we now only need Blood Rubies. Now, if only I could remember which ones were the Blood Rubies. I know they're not down here. Are they with the Earth Elementals? Let's find out. No, nope. That was Fire Opals. But it looks like someone's already in the area since we're at 1 out of 2. So Looks like we're a little bit behind the rest of the party, but that's okay. I think this area, yeah, this area is cleared as well. Oh, and someone else got him. So we're out. But, Axel, like, which raids were you doing tonight? Is this like a full raid night? Is this a teaching raid night? I'm not sure how the schedule works there. I actually haven't touched the new raids at all yet. I guess because I've been doing racial live, so I'm not going to cap. But like the new one that just came out and the previous Myth Draenor raid, I haven't hit either of those yet. I've seen some interesting equipment. Nothing that I saw and I was like, ooh, I must absolutely have it. But still looks like some decent pieces. It's actually not out? Oh, is that, it's on Lamania. Okay. But the, oh, next week. Excellent, excellent. Well, I still haven't hit the earlier Myth Draenor raid, so that part stands. That one's been out a while now. It's just that, you know, I'm not at cap, so I'm not hitting raids. Besides, like, of course, like, Vaughn or maybe Tempest Spine while leveling, because, yeah. On threats. Right. The fireworks just Vaughn. Which one is threats? Like Fires Over Moorgrave is the Vecna one. Well, okay, there's I guess at this point there's more than one Vecna one, but threats is the MD raid? Okay. I actually don't know anything about it. I haven't actually read up on it at all, so I don't know mechanics, I don't know much besides, I think I saw a couple loot previews when it was on Lamania. How is it? Is it a, like, difficult raid, a fun raid, both, neither? Because those don't necessarily always line up. Giant HP pools? Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. You heard most people don't like it. Okay. Boring for tank. Well, DDO tank is not the most compelling role a lot of the time, so... Yeah, like, how bloated HP pools are we talking here? Are we talking like, let's see, what was the... Ah, yes. When the legendary, Why is it escaping my mind? The level 6 one. The time one. Chronoscope, yes. Legendary Chronoscope came out and it's just like, okay, we can do it on hard, but then you put it up to like R1 and just nothing dies. It just takes forever. Just like, wow. And then like, all the melee get 2-shot when the fire shield pops up. It's like, okay, alright. Great. Okay. If I could stop lagging, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, that's oh, interesting. So it's, I guess it's similar to the other time one with everyone's favorite Dracolich, where the tank is just out there while everyone's going down and doing the flashbacks to the past. Like, I keep thinking riding the storm out, but that's the other one, not the actual one I'm thinking of. Riding the storm out is the one with all the lightning bolts and the other dragon. Killing time, yeah, that's the one. Or potentially you meant the kinesthesiology tape raid, in which case I haven't done that one. But yeah, that's boss on hard has 37 million. Okay. That seems like a lot of health in a game that most people aren't hitting for like tens of thousands per shot. Outside of like just very specific things. And I fell down. Unfortunate. It's alright. We're just gonna kill this Reaper because I don't want him sitting here like just dotting everything and teleporting and dotting. Trash mobs 2 mil? Yeah. I would really need to remember what the health pools are like in other raids for a good comparison, because I don't usually pay attention to the numbers that much, because like the boss has health and then you hit it until it doesn't have health. And I don't pay a whole lot of attention to anything beyond that. Well, unless it's like a wipe situation, or you're like just trying to finish out situation. It's just like, okay, he has 20,000 HP left. Can I gibbers and do that much damage before I die? Something like after a hunter be hunted wipe. Because that's the raid I have the most experience wiping in, because it's the one that is most likely to kill you if you mess up on spirits. It's just like, congratulations. 2 people didn't stand in things, now everyone gets to die.
The imposing burning mountain looms
Which
to the west.
isn't actually a terribly bad mechanic, it's just people need to be on top of things. People needing to be on top of things in a raid is, I would say, a feature, not a bug. That's something that should be happening. Oh no, I'm falling.
The bottom of this
I took damage, but it was only temp health damage, so no big deal there. The question is, do we bother buffing? We're gonna try it, but chances are it doesn't matter, because the dudes in here love to spam Dispel.
scorpion larvae.
Now, on the plus side, because it's a place that has a lot more, like, smaller number of larger enemies, it means that you don't pull Dungeon Alert as quickly running through it. It also helps that we haven't split yet, so we don't have any issues with people pulling multiple things. That'll come up in a little bit, though, because we're definitely going to do that once we hit a fork.
The scorpion tender turns away from his pets and fixes a baleful stare.
Acid damage over time. How terrible for me. Anyway.
A large scorpion is caged here, surrounded by
Yep, here we are at red alert, because now I'm pulling small scorpions, and small scorpions mean large alerts. Now these are actually not very forgiving at all for how close you need to pull them together. Like, you actually need to really be on top of it or it won't work. As opposed to, there are some levers that are like, you need to pull these at the same time, and same time is pretty generous. This one is not generous. Like, if you get tagged once, you need to try again. Fortunately, someone has followed us, so we don't even need to be quick anymore. I can pull one and they can pull the other, just as long as neither one of us gets hit by a hatchling. Or he can hit the chest, and I'll do the levers. Either way works. Now we see if we can go help with the other ones. I don't think we can, because, well, the other part of the party is going just as fast as I am. And they only have one more to kill. go. Easy 12k in what, like 3 minutes? Under 3 minutes. Very nice. But yeah, let's see. I'm trying to think of a point of comparison for the health pools. And the first thing that I'm thinking of is the Baylor in Fires Over Moorgrave, since he's pretty tanky. But I don't know if it's just like the groups I was in or because it was when the thing just came out. But even with all the different mechanics in that fight and all the stuff like, well, you've got to pick off ads, you've got to do this, that, and the other. Ranged people can't shoot him. He's got damage reduction mechanics. I still don't remember him being as big a health sponge as Bloodplate in Legendary Chronoscope. It's just like, I remember that just taking forever to try to chew through. But again, it might just be that we were taking people who had no gear or anything because it was like first day and everyone's just like, yeah, let's go do the thing, and we went and did the thing. So perhaps it's a matter of who joined, not the actual difference, which is something that's hard to do unless you have a static raid group, and there aren't a ton of those around.
Enter the tomb's antechamber.
Hello.
Only to find it occupied by a pack of gnomes.
Boost. More move speed. And more move speed. Okay, there's a Reaper here, so we'll actually kill stuff now. Because it's not like we can skip these mobs. You have to kill everything in the room in order to advance here. And if we have to face tank the Reaper, then we face tank the Reaper. It's fine. No big deal. Why have you not followed me? Why have you not followed me? Oh well, at least the ones that didn't follow me aren't still hiding in their little corners. They're all out here where we can see them easily. So we're not going to be in a situation where it's just like, oh, you're missing one. Where is it? Like, well, I'm missing one. Where is it? It's right there, standing in the open. So, we get to kill this one. Now, one thing that other builds might be concerned about is the clay golems here that put a curse on you that means you cannot be healed. We don't care about that because we're not healing anyway. We survive through temporary health alone. Which also isn't reduced by Reaper, so that's handy. We're just going to take Tower 1 because, well, we're here. Why would we not take Tower 1? And we're probably going to run out of sprint boost charges, so we're going to try to use them when we can get the full duration on them. It might not always work for us, though. Just because there aren't that many long hallways with no breaks here. We are going to try to actually kill some people, but unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, pretty much all skeletons are immune to cold, so I do like 1/3 damage to them. So it's not the best matchup for me in here. I'd much rather be fighting the zombies, or the mummies, for that matter. But, you know, sometimes you gotta fight what's in front of you. And in this case, that's skeletons that don't take almost any damage from me. See if we can get this cast off. We can. And we'll see if Riz King is here. Hammy the Jackal. So he is not in 1. Okay. This wizard constantly doing force damage is kind of painful. Which is why we hit our big temp health button. The question is, do we go all the way into the optional? And we have people to hit the other towers, so I figure I can go and hit the optionals. Because I know at least at one point I needed to farm this place for a drop that I wanted to craft, which was Bracers of Deafness. Or Deftness, I suppose I should enunciate more clearly if I'm going to say things like that. And in that case, oh boy. I think that Reaper crit me because he hit me for like 200 something. Okay. It's like, now have I killed enough to be able to get past this? And the answer was yes. So that's good. We'll pop one of these. It doesn't heal me too much because, as we were talking about earlier, while temporary health is not reduced in Reaper, healing is, including healing from scrolls. Oh. I didn't call out that I was in 1, so it makes sense that someone else would also come. Because someone called 3 and I hadn't called 1, so... We have a friend helping us out in 1. So, it's unfortunate for us, but that's just how it is. The thing is that I can't remember is whether or not the thing I picked up from the walk-up is for this guy, or if he's in one of the other towers.
I am bound to draw this gate portal.
So it looks like I do not have the right one to be like, just go away. So now we have to wait through his spinny nonsense and him just being like, I'm immune to everything, which is not great. Oh, we've been so lucky to not get mummy rotted so far, but alas, we did not make it all the way through without getting some mummy rot.
The jackal of Manectaron stares at you with light.
Immune... Oh no, wait, he isn't a lich, so he doesn't get all the immunity stuff.
The stone floor cracks and crumbles beneath.
Alright, so we had someone else already call that they were going to 3, which means it's time for us to head to tower number 2. Now, if you're not familiar with this nomenclature, and fewer people would be nowadays, because back when there was a little bit less content in epics and legendaries, something people did a lot for leveling was what were referred to as dailies. And in this case, it's basically like a collection of a half a dozen-ish quests that all gave a lot of XP per minute. And Wizard King was one of them. So when you came in and you split, you would be like, alright, I'm going to Tower 1, I'm going to Tower 2, I'm going to Tower 3. And basically the order of, well, which one is 1 and which one is 2 and which one is 3 is based on the route that I just took, the order that you get to them in. So you enter through the main entrance, and then you turn right, and the first one you run into is 1, and then you turn left, and that one's 2, and then you turn left, and the last one is 3. So if you're ever wondering, like, what do people mean when they're just, like, typing numbers in chat when you enter this place, that's what they mean. They are calling out where they are heading, so that the group can more efficiently split and just send, like, 1 or 2 people to each tower. But again, because it's not run as dailies anymore, it's a lot less prevalent, and quite frankly, less important. Like, it's a nice to have. It's like, well, we have multiple people in here for doing it while leveling. Cool. That said, there are a lot more level 12 quests available too. So the necessity to even run this while leveling is lower than it used to be. After they gave us the revamped diplomacy chain, after they gave us the elemental chain, oh, not the elemental chain. See, now I'm remembering the quest names, but not the quest pack name. So it's the Moorgrave University level 12s in Lord's March. Which is, I don't think it's Parallel to Planar Eyes. I think that's the Moorgrave 16s in the lower section of Sharn. But yeah. That is just not that important anymore. Now, I'm going to this a little early because there's just not a lot of level 10 and 13 quests around. Like, sure, you've got Ravenloft. Ravenloft's cool. But then you've got stuff like, okay, well, we've got Necro 3. And I don't particularly like most of Necro 3. And then you've got... Sans has some, and those are okay. And then there's just a variety of other ones, like just scattered around. There's the one with all the mind flayers and the void mines in House J. There's like invaders and a couple other beholder centric ones, which, well, they're beholder centric quests, so they're a little bit harder than average and a little bit more annoying than average, and therefore not run as much. So skipping ahead to do some level 12s now I think is fine, particularly because it means I'm not too worried about it impacting us later, because it's like the problem with advancing too early is that oftentimes what you end up with is you end up screwing yourself over, because it's like, okay, well, I went into this stuff early, and now the stuff I skipped is too low level, and now the stuff that is next is too high level. But because there is an abundance of quests at the level 13 and 14 point, not a problem. If I run out of stuff that I would normally run at 13, I'll go ahead of it. So I'll do Myth Draenor, and I'll do Giant Hold. Like, that's a thing you can do if you just start at 13. Alright, and we have finished. 36k, took 11 minutes, but we did do all of the towers. So, it's not just 36k, it's 36 plus 5, 15, 20, we'll say 22. So that's one of the reasons why this used to be such a good farming spot, because you don't just get the normal XP of like the 36, we also got 22 from optionals. So that brings it up to 58. And yeah. So 58k in 11 minutes is very, very good. And that's only possible because we split.
This impressive structure houses the tomb of the Wizard King.
Makes it faster. Optional XP. Fucking hate this quest. Really? Uh-huh. So apparently someone in party, Chains is not their favorite, and it's easy to see why. Chains is a little bit difficult to navigate in a couple ways. The first one is it's tough to know how to get there. I use the wiki and the map on the wiki that explicitly marks out this is how you get there. Like, it's not just the overworld map, it's this map with a big red line that says, go this way. Zerg or not.
This is one of 2 locations in all Menacterum where water can be found.
It's like he wants to know if we are going to Zerg or not, and the answer I gave to him is, I don't want purple alert for the end bosses. But, okay, so someone's taking a smoke break, which is fine. We're just gonna go through this a little bit. Because we are in a party, we're not going to be able to really pause the gameplay. Well, okay. I haven't seen them come out on the map yet, so I'm gonna hit the add button right now, because I'm gonna have to wait for them to zone in. Well, I don't have to, but I will, to be nice to them, and also to burn time during ads so you don't miss anything. So I'll see you in 2.5 minutes. Bye. And I almost ran off the cliff while attempting to start ads, and that would have burned even more time, but we're not looking to burn that time. Alright, so if you didn't know the way to change the flame, and you are still here because you're either watching on YouTube, or you have Twitch Turbo Prime Super whatever, or you have a subscription, or any other reason that you might not see ads, then, yeah, this is the route to change the flame. Or rather, I think it's one of the routes. There might be another one. Like, this last part is the only way, because as you can see, it's a dead end from the other side, but I think there are a couple different approaches that will get you to that last leg. So we're going to zone in, and we're going to wait a little bit for other people to get here. And hopefully, by the time we're done waiting, our ads will be over. And if they aren't here by the time ads are over, I'll just start the quest without them. It's no big deal. Ooh. Druid got named. Oh, interesting. Disruption, Ruin Arm. Fire Imbue, Fire Resistance. Huh, okay. All right. Well, we have had another person join, so we've got that going for us. Now, unfortunately, with Cone Shape, we can't pick the guys off of the balconies. So we're not going to stop to do that. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Well, it appears that people are back from ads. And kind of as expected, we're still the only ones here. So the rest of the party hasn't made it here. So I have waited for you to get here to start. But I did not wait for them, but that's fine, because we have to double back anyway, because that's how this quest runs. That's what order you have to go in. So off we go. See if we can get this door open. Yay! Just gonna goof these guys up. And tentacle them down. Just burn things down a little bit more. We're gonna have mephits popping up, but they're fire mephits, so they take extra from ice. And they also won't interrupt me while I'm opening things. Now, because Chains of Flame is a good bit longer, we're not going to immediately burn all of our sprint boosts. Because Chains of Flame does have multiple run-back sections, we're going to save it for those sections that we're running back through after we don't have anything to fight. Alright, so we have pulled Red Alert. This is not a problem because we can clear the Red Alert relatively easily.
A heavy key slips from the overseer's grasp as he falls.
Alright. Talk to our first couple people. Grab the key. And now we can burn a sprint boost. And maybe if there's a random dude that we didn't kill on the way, we can get our extra speed boost from warlock abilities. So that's convenient. Why did I leave them alive? Was it mercy? No. It's all in the service of getting more sprint boosts. Hi. Excuse you. I was trying to open a door and you have interrupted me. Can't believe the manners of some people.
Of blood and rusted iron. A caged dwarf above the cook fire looks like the next main course.
Oh. If you do enough burst damage, you can kill him. Oh, I did. He had a damage over time on him. You're carrying too much to hold the key. That's a problem. Am I carrying other, like, just random crap? Yeah, we can get rid of some random spell components of classes that I am not currently. And some Scroll of Create Undead. Yeah, we don't need that. That can go away. Okay, and on we go. We want to put up displacement here, because otherwise this door is a pain to open with all those archers shooting down at us. And this build does not have deflect arrows, so we have to rely on just good old dodge. Well, and flurry and armor class. You know, standard evasive maneuvers that work on all kinds of attacks, not just deflecting arrows. Oh. For some reason I thought they died. But they had not. Which is fine. Talk to people, talk to more people. Can't really split in this quest because, well, you need the keys to move forward. Okay. We're just going to pick up the remnants, and now we can use that to get back to the beginning. And then we get to sprint boost. Right, so one person has made it here. Oh, I see another dot. At least 2 people have made it here. And I'm guessing he ran into the fire traps before I had a chance to disarm them, so that's unfortunate for him. Fortunately, there's someone right behind him, which means that I don't have to go back for his stone. There's already someone following immediately behind him who can get the stone. We hold W mouse 1, and we hold S mouse 1. The most got a little tongue-tied. The most thrilling of warlock combat. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. I think this is the one. Nah, I'm pretty sure going off to the right is an optional. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so going to the right is the optional where you can get the boots that I'm currently wearing with all that extra damage reduction. Now, that said, I can't currently get that. And why can't I currently get that? Because it is behind a locked door. And I cannot pick walks on this build. So, we don't get that. Which is unfortunate, but, you know, sometimes that's just how it goes. Do you mind?
You hear muffled howls and the clatter of
Very impolite of them.
this hallway. The fire brands are
Yes, and as expected, our fallen comrade was picked back up and brought back to life. And one of these guys just hit me for 80. Trip failure, balance success. I guess I just really need to use my temp health more.
a heavy key slips from the overseer's
Burning
grasp.
key. I think this dispels. Stop interrupting me. There we go. Oh, there's a person over here. Because you do need to talk to 16 of the slaves in order to get them out of here. Because you free 15, and then the 16th gives you the key to the boss room. So if you're ever in here and you're wondering, it's like, but I have all the things done, why didn't I get the key? Because the key is on the 16th. Oh. Our new joining warlock is down now. Now, the problem is, like many quests that have, we'll say, more complex routing, just because I can find my way along the good path, as in, I know how to complete the quest, does not automatically mean I can find my way from any particular point in the dungeon to any other particular point in the dungeon. Oh. Just teleported right on top of me. That's lovely. Thank you, Mr. Carnage Reaper. But it's fine. We will make do. We shall rise up and overcome.
The burning city is not as oppressively hot as below.
Doo-doo-doo.
The most powerful fire brands probably dwell at these heights.
There you go. Ship a couple more guys down to low health. Gather some other people up. Now, the downside to the blinded dude here is that... Okay, well, technically we're not at the blinded dude yet. But the downside is that I don't have remove curse. So I can't just take on his curse and then dispel the curse. What I can do is I can just take on the curse and have it consistently just be on me because I have immune to blindness from my goggles. So it won't go away at all until the quest is over. And if I take my goggles off, I will immediately be blinded. But it's not a big deal because I'm not going to take my goggles off.
Archer, ranged along a defensive wall, shouts rude challenges and insults at your invasion party.
Ow. Okay, so I don't think we have the key to open this yet. I believe we have to go forward to get that, and then we can come back here. But we're going to be close to freeing the requisite number. So there's one in here. And once again, there are a bunch of dudes up on a cliff, making my life difficult. More displacement, though that doesn't help all the casters raining down like trash damage on me.
This post cheer raggedly. A heavy key slips from the overseer's grasp where he falls.
Alright, well, I think he got the key. So hopefully he is with us when it is time to use it. As I continue to loot things that I should not. Okay.
This arcane library reeks of malice and despair. A halfling slumps at a low table, unaware of your arrival.
Okay. So, yep. Curse of blindness. Okay. What about it? One of them managed to disappear. Unfortunate for us. We will actually use a heal scroll here. More to get rid of the stat drain than anything else. Active tumble. I don't think I have any big damage reductions when tumbling. Alright. This time he is nearby, so I shall grab his thingy. Okay, it looks like the other parts of our party did go off to the special boot optional. I don't know if they can pick locks, so I don't know if they're lost or what. But they did at least do the Minotaur optional on the way. And someone got a ring of Baphomet, which is very handy. I've used them before when I was on a warrior life and I had fighter life, and I had basically no sustain. It's just like, what am I going to do? I'm going to rely on this ring to proc temporary health. But you know what? Let's just res him. We have the scrolls for it. And top him up. There we go. So, we're being a little bit more thorough on our kills because we have someone who's pretty squishy with us. So I don't really want to zerg as hard as I could, because it's just more likely to get them killed.
Ascended to the peak.
All right, time to see if I got the key or if someone else in party got the key.
His vizier Rashad must be
I got the key. He takes less damage from cold. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that as a fire thing, he would take more. Alright, let's see. Everyone's in, right? Yeah, I see 4 dots. Give people a couple seconds to put their voices on, and... there we go. Much worse on an XP per minute front than Wiz King. 25 in 17 minutes, as opposed to, like, the 50 in 11. But, you know, we got a couple optional things. And we're flagged for the raid now if we wanted to do it. But we are getting close to hard cap, so it's time for us to take 13. And probably head to Lord's March. Like, we could do the raid. Probably. I don't think she's immune to cold. I know she's immune to lightning. And I would have to switch to the other blast stance to hit her from range. But besides that, we could pull it off. So we're going to turn these in. We're going to get our flagging done. And then we'll figure out what to do next after leveling, that is. So, blah, 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 blah. Yes, hello. Give me the thingy to flag with. You also give me the thingy to flag with. And the third thingy to flag with. Now we're going to come over here and get rid of our afflictions. Hello, Spirit Binder. Remove curse. Remove disease. Hooray! We are now unmummy rotted and unblindness cursed. So that's a large improvement on our overall state. So let's see. We're going to finish flagging. We're going to sell a bunch of stuff from our inventory. We're going to take 13. And then we're going to head off to do more level 12 quests, I believe. There we go. ADQ has been bestowed. I was going to say assigned, but then it's like, wait, no, they use a special word for it. Bestowed. Alright. And we leave so we can level. And we can sell on the way, because we have to run right past all the vendors in the market tent. Is there any reason to keep this? No. How about that one? No. How about that one? No. 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 Just all the random green stuff gets to go away. 2 soul eaters. The thing is, I already have a bunch of soul eaters. I already have one of these. Is this special? No. I have those. They're not special. I don't know if I have those, and those are mythic. Not important. Not important. Maybe? It's got mythic on it. It's got mythic on it. Has mythic on it. That just means it's worth taking a slightly different look at. No, that goes away. That goes away too. Yeah, it's got mythic. A potion of blindness removal. Cat's Grace, Cure Moderate. Honor Protection for Energy. And that one. Okay. There we go. 50-ish slots open now. And did we... How are we on our... Ah, and we can go actually get our favor as well. Hello, Warlock Trainer. What are you be training in today? We're training in Spellcraft, UMD, and Bluff. Alright, what level 5 spell do we want? I guess we'll take Finger.
By the edge of the Stormreach market, a pensive form scans the thronging crowd.
4 more points.
Searching for heroes. Heroes able and willing to face an unknown foe in the ancient ruins of Gianthold.
Which one is this? Sure. We will get some debuffs, because why not? Double check this. Yep, we've spent all we can there. So we sold stuff. We trained stuff. We don't have any other gear we want to take out. Oh, actually we do. We do. We have the Malleable Scepter of Radiance. So we get 1 more crit. We gain 9 more Radiant spell power. We get more Insightful Radiance, although we already had some from coalesced coinage. And we got some Insightful Wizardry. So how much does our stuff go up by? Let's see. Evil is at 231. $231 goes to 259, 256. So we get like 25 extra spell power on our evil stuff. Plus a crit and, you know, a couple more spell points. So not bad. We will have to come here and redo this, though. Yeah, that'll do. Hello. And we have more inventory space. So, let's see. Any groups up? Archon's Trial. It's a little out of order, but sure. Also, I don't know how much good I'll do in there. A lot of stuff doesn't get hurt by cold, but if all else fails, and they're resistant to evil and they're resistant to cold, then we can just fall back on doing a little bit of force damage. Because we don't have the best stuff for force, but we do have some. Unfortunately, this does say 14 minutes expired. Right? Oh, well, not all the way expired. Far Shifter. Amaranth, in the Plain of Shaparath. Let's see if he is still in Archon's Trial. 13 minutes is a little long, but he might be struggling. Or he, like, posted it early. Let's find out. Oh, he's not done yet. Question is, how close to done is he? Okay, and we're off to the races. So he is in the Trial of Endurance. So he hasn't gotten to the Intellect one yet. He's in the Fighting a Bunch of Dudes part.
The trial of endurance
Oh,
is over.
he just finished the Fighting a Bunch of Dudes
Follow
part.
the passage to the south of the courtyard and meet up with Tiana. You'll find her in the lower halls, past the stairs.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I can make this jump even without a leap. Oh yeah, easily. I think you can make the jump even without that being pulled. But I wasn't about to attempt that when there was a much easier jump, which is just jump to the edge of that thing. What is it? What makes it keep doing that? Like my activity feed like blinks and I think something's happened and then nothing has happened. Huh. Oh, I think that's what it is. I think it's that the last event just ticked over from 59 minutes to 1 hour. So it like shifted the whole layout as things scrolled. Alright, but okay, here we are.
Tiana says, next comes the trial of intelligence. To complete it, enter the room ahead, work your way past any obstacles, and solve the puzzle that controls the final barrier.
Go.
As the last puzzle piece clicks into place, one of the magical barriers surrounding you drops.
Alright, so I'm going to work from this end. Let's change that so it doesn't zap us. Change this so it doesn't zap us. It's interesting how the trial of intelligence is get it right or get hit with the electrical shocks. It's a very old school method of ensuring intelligence, I must say. Let's see. We'll do it this way. Did we mess up? No, we did not. Excellent.
And one of the barriers ahead of you fades.
Well, resistant to cold, not immune. So not the worst. And at least we don't take, like, extra damage from light. Like, if we were in one of the undead forms. Because that can start to suck really quickly.
As the puzzle is completed, the path ahead opens. With the click of a button, the last barrier fades. You once again hear the voice in your mind.
Alright.
You're more clever than you
We
first
succeeded at the trial of intelligence.
The trial of intelligence is over. The teleport
I did fail the trial of intelligence the first time I came in here.
Good luck.
I didn't think twice about the fact that that last very easy puzzle is like,
Welcome.
this is obviously a trap, right?
Champion of the Archons of Shavarath. You have passed all of the trials set before you in order to reach this point. I congratulate you. One final test awaits you.
Soundburst stun, really?
If you pass this challenge, then
That's
you
some
will
nonsense
find
right there.
yourself a worthy ally of the Archons of Shavarath. Rian's voice fills the arena. Your
The
last
trick here is that
challenge
the Lantern
straightforward.
Archons are the more hazardous thing,
The strength of your resolve
not the fighter type
defeated
guys.
me and mine, and this final trial will be complete. Rian sheathes her blade and yields. You've done quite well. You've bested all our trials.
Well,
and defeated
I
the
took a
demons
lot of
who
damage
surpassed
there.
our wards in the bargain. Please, accept these tokens in gratitude for your assistance. Tell
All right.
your gatekeepers that
Great
when the
success.
time
We made
comes
it
to
through.
battle the devil Eretrakos, we will aid you as well we can. The trials are complete. You've shown the Archons that you're worthy of their respect.
Presumably
and
we're
trust.
heading into here next. And since he had it open publicly, I will continue the trend, and I will put it on open public as well.
Chains. The codex page the Archon spoke of must be nearby. Recover the page before the demons can reinforce the area. And
Actually,
take
you know,
the
we'll
page
pull up
back to their
displacement.
lair.
Displacement is a
Portal
good idea
forms in
here.
the courtyard before you. Demon reinforcements start to pour into
Good
the
evening,
area.
Aviator. How are things on your end? We've just been chilling, leveling. We got a nice raid from Axel earlier. He was doing raids. I am doing some slightly less, we'll say, mechanic-intensive stuff. I did miss Trivia Night again. That is the downside to having chosen Tuesdays and Thursdays, is that I miss out on other things that happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Did Trivia Night go well? Hopefully it did. Did you win? Is there a winner?
The portal collapses with the death of the last demon. Yet a new portal has begun to form in the courtyard below. The demons are determined.
And of course they're
keep
immune
the
to
walls
web
closed.
because they're made of fire. Which, as far as like invulnerabilities go, is pretty reasonable. It's like, why is it immune to web? It's like, well, it's made of fire. It just kind of burns them. It's like, oh, alright, well, fair enough. Or maybe 5? It's what, 10 questions I think you said before? Okay, so this is like first one to post the answer in chat gets it.
A demon portal
First to
begins
10 win by 2.
open
Oh,
in the
first to
courtyard
10.
demons.
So it's far more than 10 questions.
The whirling blades of
First to
Shavarath
10,
have begun to
depending on how many
appear
people are
amongst the
playing, that
monsters.
can be like 100 questions. Yep. Keeps dying. Oh, it's the Iron Defender? Iron. Oh, he's got a. He has a couple Artificer levels, I guess. Should be either 2 or 4, I think, if he's following a standard-ish pattern. Yep, 2. Like, 2 for just, like, rune arms and feet. It's 4 if you want the, like, no holds barred and that sort of stuff. Well, technically it's Endless Fusillade, because no holds barred is the Inquisitive version. Shows a quest entrance you have to name. Oh, okay. Like, on a map, or like, you're standing in front of the entrance, and it's a screenshot? Well, I suppose either one would be a screenshot, but you know what I mean.
Another demon portal opens in the courtyard to the west.
Screenshot from the front. I can see some being very easy and some being, we'll say, much less easy. It really depends on, well, how rare the quest is. Because certain stuff that gets run all the time, well, like, everyone's gonna know Hayton's Rest. Or actually, I guess the other trick is not only recognizing the quest entrance, but being able to remember the name of the quest. Because everyone's going to recognize, it's like, oh yeah, that's like the first quest everyone runs in Korthos. It's like, okay, what's it called? Hayton, here is a who.
A portal begins to form,
Oh, okay,
the ruins above the courtyard.
Slightly trickier than initially thought. Oh no, a hamstorm. Go. Well, we held some of them. Here, have some extra temp health. This might hold the casters at least, even if it doesn't hold the demons. Well, not that it really matters much, because the casters die so much faster, they don't need any sort of extra crowd control in order to go down. They die before they really move in anyway. Unlike the demons, who take a little bit longer and can like run up and hit us and do things like that.
With the destruction of this portal, the gate to the courtyard above is now clear. A second
now we just go kill the boss.
Further up into a page from the Codex of Infinite Planes lies just ahead, but the artifact is guarded by a powerful blabberzu.
Is there anything in DDO that is healed by cold? Yes. Yes, there is. I know because I have already run into some this life, and it surprised me, but I don't remember what it was.
The page from the Codex of Infinite
oh, it was some of the undead in housekeeping. When you go into the angry guy's mind. I forget if it's the skeletons or the zombies. I think it's the skeletons. Maybe it was both. In any case, yeah, those are healed by cold. Go figure. Didn't know that before this life. I don't think it's the only thing that's healed by cold, but I have already run into that at least this life, so. There are probably more, but I haven't really played any sort of primary cold casters either ever or in a very long time, so it's not something I know off the top of my head. Now, oddly enough, some of those, like, cold demons only take, like, reduced damage from cold, which is, quite frankly, a bit weird. You'd think that they would be a bit sturdier against it, seeing as they are, like, made of cold. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. If they want to take damage from my magical cold because it's colder than their magical cold, I'll do that. I will accept their gracious gift of death. we're running. Do we have displacement up? We do, but it only lasts like 30 seconds.
The devils quarter their tiefling slaves here in
Displacement is one of the main reasons why I would sometimes get extend spell. Particularly, like, if I'm on a bard life, I'll get it for like rage and haste. Just because they're annoying to have to recast a bunch. Because they last so much shorter than other buffs. But on more arcane ones who can cast displacement, it's just nice to have displacement that doesn't like immediately disappear. Even at higher levels, displacement is like, I'm gonna last 1.5 minutes now. It's like, yay! Alright, so this goes here, that goes here, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. This goes here, and this goes there.
The barracks gate slides open, revealing
and we're off.
Leading up into the heart of the Devil's Fortress.
Hopefully that holds them and or kills them. My voice is not behaving today.
The gate leading up into the tower.
Not like I talked a lot and strained it or anything. I guess it's just being uncooperative. We'll go this way. And we'll recast displacement on the way. We'll hit the bottom first. It's always a good place to start. Alright, we pulled Red Alert, which was to be expected, because there's a ton of dudes here. Hi! The portal opens. I'm trying to think. That's the demon web one, right? Where you have to keep putting your health into the portal. Now, it's only monotonous before in the ziggurat. Ah, yes. And there's a lot of running involved, yeah. I forget where exactly this portal puts me. It's just the main room, right? Yeah. So we gotta run this way again to go up top. Oh, he's already up top over there. So I'll head this way instead. Trusting that he can manage it on his own. Which is one thing I like about DDO in situations like this, where it's just like, okay, I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and we're gonna trust each other that they can handle it. And there's not like, oh, they abandoned me, or I abandoned them, or, you know, we're not playing as a team member, or anything like that. It's just like, no. You know, this is just confidence that it's like, okay, you can handle it, so I'm gonna go do this other part, because I know you can handle it. And you don't need my help. Now, of course, in some parties, you'll look at them and you'll see, huh, they do need help. In which case, you don't split like this. But in this case, we're both perfectly capable of handling it. So we just get a little bit of extra efficiency by doing it separately, together. Okay, wait, did he... Oh, he must have been following me on the ground floor, not splitting and going upstairs. Okay, scratch everything I just said about, like, trusting each other, so on and so forth. We were not doing that. Or we did, and he forgot to pull the lever? He saw me heading a different direction and just decided not to. Okay.
A deep rumbling sound reverberates from the courtyard.
He forgot to pull the lever. He came upstairs, he killed the guys, didn't pull the lever. Oh, wait, why are all these guys here? I take it back. He didn't kill the guys. He ran away. Okay. Noted. At the very least, he's very durable as a favored soul. Gets a lot of health points. A lot of health points. Well, that's one part to being durable. Effective health is totally a thing. It's just like, well, how healthy are you? It's like, well, I have 20% less health, but I have twice as much other defenses. Like, oh, okay, so you've got 1,000 health, and you take 1,000 damage per second, and you have 800 health, and you take 100 damage per second. One of these people is going to live way longer than the other. Of course, as Inquisitive, he has access to one of the best defensive cooldowns in the game in Improved Uncanny Dodge. Now, it is not the best, but in terms of accessibility to power, I think it might be the best on that ratio. Now, obviously, like, the best defensive cooldowns are some of those 95% damage reduction things you can get from Artificer. But those require, like, being level 20 Artificer in that tree. As opposed to this, just requires that you're T5 Inquisitive, and if you are going to be Inquisitive at all, you are probably going to be T5 Inquisitive, because if you're going Inquisitive, but only getting, like, the first 4 tiers, I don't know why you're doing that build. I now feel tempted to try to make a build where that would make sense. I don't think it exists. Like, it'd have to be an imbue-based build, because it would have to be a ranged imbue-based build, maybe with repeaters? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you could make it functional, but I'm not sure you could make it at all compete with doing the easy thing. It's like, we're going to make it more complex. Why? For reasons. Now, don't get me wrong. Making things more complex for reasons is absolutely a thing I have done before. Like how I did an Imbue Warlock, which is just like, it was Eldritch Knight with extra steps and not as good. So it did end up working, like a decent amount too, but it wasn't as good as just, well, just make a normal Eldritch Knight and don't worry about all this extra nonsense. One Soul of Cruelty. You're gonna give us, no? No remnants? Fine, be that way. We'll just kill you and run. He did a video on Imbue and Warlock. Same conclusion. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me any. It's like, well, it's like Eldritch Knight. In what ways? Well, many of them, except that it's not as good. Okay, so that was Archons, which is cool. I'm not going to be doing any more 11s, so I might as well take 14. Oh, we get more pack damage this level. And what do we get? We get Ice Storm. Not that we were lacking in AoE damage, but hey, why not? I don't really care about Hold Monster or Flesh to Stone. We'll grab Lesser Globe. It has niche uses. I will probably never use it. We have how many points? 1 point. Well, we're at 19 here. So where are we putting our 1 point? There. 2 more universal spell power. Alright, because we are between chains and it is yelling at me that ads start in 2 minutes, so we're going to click the add button while we head off to the next chain we're going to do. And we won't start until y'all are back from ads. So I will see you shortly. This is just to keep pre-roll ads off the channel because we don't like pre-rolls, they're annoying. And yeah, so because we're not going to be playing any, feel free to take this opportunity to, you know, get up, stretch your legs, grab a drink. I'm going to refill my drink. Don't do this while AFKing on the hardcore servers. It's a bad idea. So I will see you in 2.5 minutes, and we'll probably be in, let's say, Lord's March. There we go. We should be back. Alright, so I'm a little bit undecided. So instead of deciding, I'm just going to go in. I wasn't sure. It's like, well, do we start with this chain or do we want to do diplomatic impunity or anything like that? And in this case, I think we're just starting here. Still in the portal opens? Well, yeah, it's a longer quest. It gets... Well, one of the benefits of it, at least, is that it's one of the quests that benefits the most from having a group that can split, because it's almost twice as fast. It's just like, hey, go grab these things from the two far ends on either side. I almost missed that. Okay, not bad. Is it going to show me all 5?
The ground shakes.
Yeah, Madstone is another good one for splitting, especially because if it has all those sections where it's just like, and now you get to wait for a long time. It's just like, ugh. And the other benefit to splitting in Madstone is if you're melee, you get to say, hey, can I please not do the second one? Because the second one sucks if you're melee. Like, I'll do the first one, I'll do the third one. But the second one is awful.
Smoke and ash fill the air as an Afridi manifests into the chamber.
Alright, now you get hit by debuffs, because I put points in the debuff stuff. Oh no! He hit me for 2 lightning damage.
The Afridi gives
Well,
a final
he took a little bit to kill, but
then vanishes
fortunately he
in
was
shallow
non-threatening.
depths. The second rune activates. There's a massive rush of air through the shrine, and then a sudden silence.
Alright. There's a Reaper in this group, so we're going to stop slightly longer to make sure we get that chip down. There we go. Oh goody, a Famine Reaper.
Waves of intense heat billow out from the chamber ahead.
Oh. It's gonna melee me, which is not ideal. Ideally, it spams magic missiles at me because I am immune, much like Gwen.
Leading into the deeper
But at
cavern.
least we can do this. Oh, that's a Plague Reaper. I am less immune to Plague Reapers. Fortunately, they're not immune from me either, so it all evens out in the end. We just punch each other until one of us dies.
Suddenly
And fortunately, one of us is almost always them.
collapses. Lightning crackles, and you're hit by searing heat and piercing cold at the same time.
Alright.
These caves have been
Off
touched by
here.
Hitler's
We
elemental
take a
chaos.
big chunk of damage from stepping in lightning water, but that's
As you
fine.
travel deeper into the caverns,
We're gonna
you can feel
spawn up
everything
this,
slowly shift around you.
this portal wall.
Menacing voice seems to echo from
And the
everywhere.
Reaper, of course, walks directly through. I found this out, like, last life, I think? It was just like, so,
Prize would be easily won.
this
Children
barrier pops up,
die to
and Reapers ignore it completely. They are not affected the slightest bit. They just walk straight through it, which is great for separating them from the pack.
With the death of the Grey Slod, the magic barrier sealing off the
Oh,
eye of
right.
Hitler
Need to retrieve the eye first. Okay, fine. Fine. We'll kill the Slod first. Is Slod the plural of Slod? Is it Slod? Is it Sloddy?
You can feel the rumble of
I don't actually
uncontrolled
particularly
chaos
care.
within the eye of
I was just
Hitler
wondering. It's just like,
recruited into
huh.
your pack.
It's just one of those weird things that I don't know.
Into the hands of Morgrave University researchers
Actually, for that matter,
as soon as possible.
how about Salhagen? I'm pretty sure that's the plural. Because, oh no, the Salhagen found me. I don't think he was talking about just like, oh, one of them found me. I'm pretty sure he was talking about the fact that the whole group was coming to kill him.
He's trying to placate them.
So they're being referred to as a collective, at least in that instance.
You learn that the levitating stone, known as the Eye
I'm
of
sure
Sauron,
someone
the
who
artifact
is,
you were sent to
we'll
find,
say, more steeped in the lore of Dungeons and Dragons and
Clarissa Boromar
all sorts of
fortune as
conlangs and other
Earth
things of that
Intelligence
nature,
collector.
would have an answer to these
Let
questions,
us
but unfortunately
examine
I do
a
not.
specific set of skills.
Now, if only I had both questions and answers, maybe I could do some sort of quiz show. I wonder if anyone's ever done that before. Sounds like it'd be a lot of work. I can't imagine anyone doing that.
Only Danis, the foreman, knew how to disable the security mechanisms
Oh,
around the
hello,
Eye of
Chatterbox.
Sarania. The conversation
Kill
with the
any... You
workers
have any
union
encounters
casts
recently in
doubt
Chatterbox?
on
No?
Bergod's interest
Okay.
in helping the workers. Morena told you the
Hello,
password
Syndicate
to get
Trainer.
into the illegal gambling
We're gonna
room
spare the
right
raptors and
by
only
the
kill
Warlock
you.
plant. Just use it on the dragon.
Because we're just that good.
Or is this some kind of
At,
elaborate trap?
We're just humanitarians like that. We are kind to animals, even And in fact, especially when the animals are attempting to kill us. Basically 5e. Ah, yes, that I would be way better at that too. Like, if it were D&D 3.5, then I would be much more versed, but I really don't know 5th edition almost at all. Like, don't get me wrong, I know more than the average person, but the average person knows nothing at all besides perhaps that Dungeons & Dragons exists, and maybe that it has different versions. But I know some things. But yeah, I'm much better at DDO. I've spent more time on DDO than I have on 5th edition D&D. To the surprise of no one. In fact, I have spent more hours live on DDO than... Well, I was going to say than I've spent on 5th edition D&D, but the number of hours I have is a lot from the very get-go. So it's really not a fair comparison for much of anything. Oh, I can't search. Let's try again. Alright, and now we have to look in our inventory to see if we have... Oh, I was hoping the spyglass would have search on it, but it has spot on it. Alright. No, none of this will have it. No. Delightful. That's perform. We don't particularly care about perform. Wait, yeah, this has true seeing on it. Let's see if true seeing is good enough to see these doors. It is. Alright, so I lose some ice stuff while I'm wearing this, but it's going to make it way faster to get through the quest without having to, like, stop and search for different stuff.
Some of the lockpicks in this set of thieves' tools are made in Sharn. Was someone from the Boromar clan not paying attention, or is Clarissa being framed? All this evidence suggests
Right, that's Bernadotte, not Clarissa.
Question Clarissa Boromar in person.
Okay, so Clarissa is the one who's behind the hidden wall.
They're up to something. And that suggests Aether Finkelberry is involved.
Okay. No, it's a loud kobold. Let's take care of that. Alright, we'll head this way. What feather?
This feather may have
Kobold.
belonged to Danis Derpinshire. He's the only radiant idol you've seen around. Is someone
We
framing
have
this
other
poor soul?
stuff here.
Or is he not so innocent?
Looks like no, just more dudes.
According to a loud kobold, these creatures are not supposed to talk to strangers. What else
Alright,
has
we want to
Aether
finish up
to
down
tell
here
his
before we
innocent
come back up top.
subjects?
Okay. So let us go and look through the loud kobold area. Just through the pipe. Oh. It's where the other person already went. Okay. Well, we can still grab collectibles. Just this number. Ah, there we go. Oh, more collectibles.
Aether Finkelberry manages to pacify the remaining kobolds. He reprimands you for provoking his research subjects.
Okay. Which way is this one? Is this where we came in? Yeah, that's where we came in. well, I think it's time to go back up top. And we're going to go talk to Clarissa, because we have enough evidence to accuse her. So she should be all the way south.
As you enter, Clarissa orders your death. Clarissa falls, mortally wounded. It's time to grab the stone and get out.
Oh, excellent.
You hear a dulcet chime as the binding
Very nice.
unravels from the
7 minutes is nowhere near the fastest we've ever done this, because this quest can be stupid fast if you get lucky on the evidence. In fact, if we de-doored instantly as soon as we had enough to accuse her, we could have been done in half the time. But I kind of like running around just in case. And we get the tiny chest. Unfortunately, the tiny chest does not have anything in it for us this time. But that's fine. We'll just move on to the next one.
Taking it away from Eberron is for the best, for all worlds.
Seizing the dawn. Now, there's a trick to this puzzle, which is that you always have to hit all of the buttons once, and then you have to hit one of them a second time. So, if you kind of just look at what they do when you're hitting them the first time, you can generally figure out what you need to do on them, or rather, which one you need to hit the second time. And assuming that I'm the one who does the puzzle and not the other guy in group, I can show it to you. It's not too tricky once you know what to look for.
The rocky outcroppings here appear to be sturdy enough to climb.
Alright, there we go. It's 2 crests. Alright. As I physically look up to see if I can see any more up here. Very fast sprint boost jump. The other 2 should both be down here, but well, oh, it's out of range. I was gonna say it's like, maybe I can just drive by tentacle some stuff. There's always a crest here.
Then the pool churns as an elemental flows up and attacks.
Come on. Die, please. Thank you.
The elemental dissipates.
Alright, so the tentacles weren't enough to kill all of the hyenas. They were enough to kill most of them and leave the last 2 at low health. Which is interesting. So I guess that means it just depends on crits. Which is fine. We'll just go this way. It does mean that we can trust it to kill most things. Which is really all we need. We just need to kill enough things that we don't get dungeon alert.
A terrified scream echoes through the canyons. You notice the motionless form of an elf crumpled upon the rocks below.
Alright, there we go. Last crest. Is it faster to run back up or D-door? I'm gonna try running back up. Because I think it's faster. It's probably about the same, really. Like, we're slowed down a little bit by climbing this, but it's fine. It's no big deal. According to our party mate, the puzzle is 4321, which means that there's another thing to look for to key off of that I don't know about. In this case, it's probably like where the crests spawn corresponds to which puzzle version you get. Or maybe it's the initial position of the orbs. But
You feel more than
as I said,
a faint
every
humming
puzzle
sensation
needs to
coming
go
from
4,
the
3, 2,
device
1.
in this chamber. The last orb floats into place,
And we got the
and a
easy
sudden
one
pulse
that
of
doesn't
magic
need the
power.
5th hit.
Somehow you
So
get
that's
this
handy.
strange feeling that the path
Normally,
has
I think there
become
are
open to you.
4 different layouts, I want to say. 3 or 4. And one of them is just 4, 3, 2, 1, and the others are 4, 3, 2, 1, and then one more. Still looking for legendary caster sticks in these quests? Yeah, they're pretty solid, especially since they have the insightful stuff on them.
As you step inside the temple, you notice that the floor is totally free of the sand and dust of the desert.
We did
Everything is
cast
straight and
invisibility,
clean.
which just lets us
Someone
take a little bit less aggro as we're going through here.
this place. You hear the sound of
However,
echoing
since our party member is
footsteps
not
echoing
casting
down the
invisibility,
tiled halls.
we're gonna do our part to not just leave him to kill everything. That's true. Is the quarterstaff
For
better
many long
than the
years,
individual
this
ones?
place relied upon secrecy
Like,
to
I haven't
protect
looked too
the
much
eye.
at them, but what
That time
extra
has
benefit do they
completely
get?
passed.
Because you lose the
Very
flexibility
well.
of being able to, like,
If you would be the
swap
one
out
to
one
bear
of
it to
them
safety,
for, like, a dino weapon for
prove your
debuffs or
worth.
anything like that. Alright, so this one is immune to cold. Unfortunate. Fortunately, we have someone with us
Pulls
who
back
does
with a nod.
a damage type that she is
You
not
are
immune
indeed
to.
worthy. This charge is now yours to
Also, you
bear.
know, the fact that we get to
Do
debuff
not
them
let it
helps.
fall into darkness. We will be watching. You wonder about the Deva's parting words as you place the Eye of Irian in your pack.
Oh, interesting. So it doesn't... So then the only thing it's going to gain is maybe the increased implement bonus. I think quarterstaffs have more implement bonus than sticks,
You yawn. A slight fog
but
in
you
the
just
corners of your
get
vision.
the...
What were you doing here again? Oh, right.
But you don't get any additional, like,
Come from
okay,
the
well,
House of Langor
in addition
to find and
to
retrieve the Eye
the normal
of
stats, you also get, like,
You
I don't know, some
touch the
crit
water of
damage or
this
something.
fountain. You feel almost
Yeah,
weightless.
there are some things in the
As the
trees.
viewer
I've
just
looked
above
into a
the
couple of them. Like, some of them are weird because it's like stuff in Primal Avatar that's like, you get extra damage, you get extra to hit and damage with stabs. Oh, and also you get some spell point, some extra spell damage from stabs if you have 3 points in it. Like,
As the last light flickers
it's not
out,
particularly compelling.
at first you feel a sense
There's...
of calm and relief. Yet
I know there's
that
stuff in
relief
Draconic
quickly
as
turns to
well
dread
that just
as you
gives, I
notice
think it
that
just gives
something is
universal
wrong.
if you're using a staff.
You steel your mind. You blink awake.
Double implement bonus,
You
that's what it
realize
is.
the jolt that you
Right,
must
double
have
implement bonus is universal, so that's true, but
You're awake
it's a
already?
specific kind of
I
universal.
had hoped my hypnosis would have a more lasting effect.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did resist
More
my
tentacles.
initial compulsion to see
Oh,
you
that's another
alive.
example of something that's healed by cold.
I suppose
The
you
blue
won't
version of
just
these
leave
is
my
healed by cold.
subjects in the thrall
Just
of
like the
their
green is healed by
sleep.
acid and the red is healed by fire.
There's no reason to lie anymore. I am what you seek. I am the Eye of Dalcor. The magic
Gotta
I
go
have
all the way to the
used
bottom.
lull these mortals to sleep has kept me fed for all these years.
It is a pain, which is why
How
I
exciting!
failed to do something earlier which would have helped, which is
Come find
I learned
me.
Finger of Death, but I didn't get the appropriate...
You might be able
No, wait,
to
I do
see
have the
the
appropriate
woods.
materials. I can just put it on my bar.
You might sink into eternal sleep.
The floor gives way. You plunge down into a shaft filled
Let me
with the
just do that right
monastery's
now.
support
Spells.
posts. You hear the eye's cloying voice echo around.
Excuse me, Mr. Famine Reaper.
Pity to watch you
Could you
fall
not?
so far.
Oh, and you're gonna exhaust me?
To worry, love.
That's gonna be really
I've
annoying for
sent
this.
My dear friends to help you get back on your feet.
Everyone loves having a bunch less move speed when they're trying to do a platforming section.
You catch catch your breath after the difficult
Fortunately, it
climb.
looks like our party member has already made it to the top because they didn't immediately fall down, and they dropped the shortcut for us,
Surely one of these doors
which
must
we will
lead
climb
to the chapel
slowly
where the
because we are
eye lives.
exhausted. Which is very annoying.
After the quarry vanish, you notice dead bodies on the floor. It appears that the cultists of the Hidden Hand have tried and failed
Alright, off we go.
to infiltrate the monastery and retrieve the eye.
Now this is another one that it's really difficult to find your way around if you don't know the route. And it can also be difficult to find your way around even if you know the route. But like for me, I often go off of which doors are open or not. Which means it works great for me if I'm solo or I am the first one in the pack. But if there's someone else going faster than me and then I get to a crossroads, it's like, oh, they already were here. All the doors are open. Which step were we on again? Which way are we going? And that's when it gets a little trickier. Okay, we need to make a change to that one. Right click, quicken, always on. I know it's expensive, but trying to cast Finger of Death without quicken just feels awful. Fortunately, Sprint Boost does affect climbing ladders. Okay, this one is, I believe, the trap. You do not go in there to the altar.
You can clearly see the courtyard
You go through
below,
here.
as well as 2 other doors on this level.
This is where the crest is. And down here is where the other crest is. Okay. At least I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. In either case, we want to recast this. There we go. Crest. Now we have to jump across here again and use the crests. Oh, little internet hiccup is not great when doing platforming. Our teammate is petting the pets. I don't think I've ever gotten the optional for petting all of them. Like, I've been in groups where people are trying, and you always end up, like, missing one or two. We're not going that way yet. We're going this way yet.
The Twilight Chapel. Yet you cannot simply drop down. The room is blocked by a
The
magic
thing is,
barrier.
for this section, I don't actually know which way is faster, because the puzzle is relatively easy to do, but the fight is also relatively easy to do.
So near and yet
I think we'll do the
so
puzzle this
far.
time.
If you ever hope to reach me, you will need to choose between the 2 trials I have prepared for you.
The eye's voice fades, and the vines blocking your path forward disappear.
Okay.
So, this is what you chose? Very interesting. Let's see how you fare.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. There we go.
The last tile turns into position. Power flows into the signal crystal on the wall, dispelling the barrier atop the Twilight Chapel.
Oh, right. Right, yep. We do need to go back to the future. Or the past. In this case, it's reality versus the dream. because it is the Eye of Delcor. So we snap back to reality. Unfortunately, there is
You drop down
still
into
gravity.
the Twilight Chapel. Mother Ashira's dusty, desiccated corpse lies next
All right.
to the eye.
Yeah, see, look
of
at that.
Dalquor.
One left. He was going around petting all the animals, but there's one left.
Years during which they
Just a-
believed
just
they
a
kept
hidden
me
pet.
contained, when in fact I had been the one containing them inside a calm illusion. And yet you
What's the
still
bonus XP for
wish
that
to
anyway?
shake them away?
Yeah, like 1700.
You've seen how happy they are now. It would be such a shame to rip them away from their happiness, to pull them back into this world with all its grim chaos.
You know, my dreams don't normally involve this much monologuing.
I will oblige you. But if you believed these trifling illusions are my true strength, prepare to be disappointed.
You are pushed back into your dream by a force too powerful to resist. When you rise, you hear the Eye of Dalquor's chilling voice.
One last challenge.
All right.
Love. One final dream.
As this statue crumbles to dust, its twin counterpart springs to life.
There we go.
You finally manage to slay the last
right.
illusion the
We made
Eye
it.
of Dalquor has crafted for you. Then something snaps in your mind, and you're jolted awake. As you blink awake, the Eye of
Here we go.
Dalquor sighs.
Quick and easy.
Well, I
Once
have
you know the route, at
no
least.
tricks.
The first time I did this
Despite
quest,
the challenges
it took
I've
a
faced,
long time
here you stand.
because I got
Suppose
lost
my reign over this
a lot.
monastery
In particular,
has come
the
to an end.
space where you had to turn left and go up ladders, missed it completely.
For the moment,
And as with any
yes,
quest that has a lot of
you have
verticality
managed
and
to
different
break
floors,
the spell.
the online maps
Sure,
are
this
less
offers
than
a
helpful.
peaceful sleep. Yet I still live.
Except for Castle Ravenloft. Castle
dream
Ravenloft
the dream.
Now
is
the Eye of
separated
Dalquor's
enough
magic has been
that
dispelled.
the
monks will slowly
that the maps on the wiki basically treat each floor as a different map. So it's actually pretty well mapped out, assuming you can read it. Alright, anything else? Let's see. There's 5 to 8 and 20 to 25, so nothing in our level range until we make it. So we're going to start diplomatic impunity. I was like, wait, I need to check Twitch's ad timer for if it's going to yell at me. Like, if we only had a couple minutes left, we wouldn't start diplomatic impunity. We'd run ads first. But we still have time. We have time. We are racing the ad timer as per usual. Hi. And then we buff, including not just our normal buffs, but invisibility. And off we go. There's a lot of running in this one. But fortunately, at least we have Dimension Door. So we have a little bit less running than we would without Dimension Door. But still more running than if we had Dimension Door and party members. So, because what you can do if you have party members is, instead of de-dooring back yourself, you run once, and then they're waiting at the entrance, so then they can run once as well. Oh goody, this is the kind that you have to turn off your blasting in order to break through. Oops, and we cast invisibility too late. We have already been seen, so now we're just running. Trailing a bunch of cats behind us and stuff. And once they eventually group up, we can AoE them down. But until then, we run away and hope that they don't have a bunch of champions with True Seeing. And that we make enough of our saves for, like, move silently and stuff, even though we're not attempting to move silently.
From the southwest comes the tang of salty sea air.
Alright, off we go. We've managed to not kill anything yet. So we've got that going for us at least. But
As the salty tang in the air
that
grows stronger, you
that
notice
success
a
will not
bamboo
hold.
bridge crossing the ravine.
Because we have to run right back through that
Perhaps it
section
leads
we
back
just
towards Henrita's
pseudo-stealthed through.
The presence of the Drow. You must warn Henrita of the danger to
We are
Stormreach.
probably going to
With
end
luck,
up
you can
fighting a
make it back
big
to
clump
camp
of
without
dudes.
encountering any Drow forces.
Which is not particularly a problem because we're strong enough to do so without major issue. But, you know, we had to kill 10 anyway to get our Reaper XP. It's just a little faster to run without killing things. Well, I say that, but technically speaking, if I could just one-shot single mobs with Stricken or Consume, and they were conveniently placed so that I could just keep up my move speed buff from the Warlock tree, that would be faster. But so long as I'm not stopping to kill anything, we should make good time. And this is why I bothered to learn invisibility. Because sometimes you can just do this to a quest. It's just like, hi, you didn't see me. It doesn't always work. Reapers always see you. There are a variety of champion types that will always see you because they have true seeing. Or maybe it's see invisible. One of them sees through stealth, one of them sees through everything else. All right. We are making
Ruins
progress.
rest on the plateau above. While the stones are ancient, the tents and banners around them are not.
You also try to do it without much fighting? Oh, we have now been spotted. So we will use our Warlock skills to run faster. And then he's going to tell them to back off.
Sparks out.
The Fear Reaper will teleport to us at some point, but we'll just kill it when it does.
To parley with the intruders.
Okay. Which means, of course, we won't get Reaper XP, but who cares? It's like 400 Reaper XP. I need 35,000. Share? Okay, he doesn't have it. There we go. But this is the same Warlock we were with earlier for Sans, so we know that he can take care of his stuff. As soon as he gets here, that is, of course. But this will be the last 12 chain that we do. Okay, he is in. So let's get this party started. He has, however, a lot of health. That caster is hurting me a decent amount. Ray of Exhaustion? Really? I'm just doing this just to see what the bonus is if I kill him as the only guy we kill in this quest.
With Ilos Rolf dead, any hope of avoiding war with Droam has vanished. Their invasion of Zendrik will be slowed, enough perhaps to give Stormreach time to prepare for war.
Oh, he killed 8. Oh well. 7% devious bonus. And so we got the 7% and we got enough to get Reaper XP. But yeah, he is unusually tanky. Like 10,000 XP, or not XP, HP. 10,000 health is a lot of health. Okay. You're the exit, right? Yeah, there we go. So yes, that one is... It is possible, if you are tanky enough and or have enough crowd control, to only kill the boss and nothing else. And without, like, dungeon alerting either. It's just, hey, let's just stealth our way there. Which is very unusual for DDO. Almost always in quests, like, you should stealth this. It's like, I mean, I could, maybe, but not really. Like, stealth is usually theoretical in DDO. Well, in Reaper at least, because Reapers see through everything. If you're just an elite, then it's more viable, I guess. I've never really tried it much, just because, yeah, always Reaper around in Reaper mode. I've never really tried it just because there's not really a lot of benefit to it. Like, as you saw in the last quest, we did get an XP bonus for not killing very many things, except for the fact that the XP bonus for killing lots of things is higher. And I guess in theory that's because, well, it takes longer to kill that much stuff, so obviously the reward has to be higher. Except it's usually more time consuming to try to avoid fights than it is to, you know, actually do things. Hello, notice me, senpai. Please notice me, senpai. How about you? Will you? Excellent. What is the panther doing here? Huh. Just gonna go up here. Oh, our party member is already ahead of us. So we don't even care about this shortcut because we're already killing everything.
Down the streets. More minotaurs pile out of the nearby buildings to see what's going on.
Well, if we're doing this, we might as well kill the seers for the extra bonus XP.
Says the Minotaur chieftain. But there will not be enough to hire my people as mercenaries. War is expensive.
Oh, it doesn't like pulling this many guys.
You misunderstand. The chieftain bellows. Intruders! Slay them all!
Go.
The sound of a warning.
Let's see, that is a plague reaper. We don't want to mess with that.
Pile out of the nearby buildings to see what's going on.
At least we're not getting knocked down by charges yet. It'll happen eventually. I will fail a save eventually. Just because that's how things work. That's just probability for you. If I don't have a 100% chance of avoiding it, then once they've had enough chances, one of them's going to get through. Okay. Alright, we'll just finish off Thorngok here. Scepter of Flesh Weaving. A lovely hobby. Oh. Seer. Good thing I also have Dimension Door, because the other one disappeared. Probably because he zoned out. But yeah, that's a really fast one if you just blitz it. 3 minutes. And then guy in the party says, ew, more than 3 minutes. I think we can blame them for not opening the door. Alright. Put up our buffs. We talk to the dude. We run around.
Arranged. Yet the captain of the guard looks worried and agitated.
And off we go. Alright, now I did not bring the thingy.
There's no trace of the
I didn't bring any way to turn flesh to stone, so I'm going to look in here. If he brought something that will flesh to stone, then he can start doing the other parts first, and we'll just get the optional XP from me doing this. There it is. See if we can open it. We have displacement up. Excellent.
The stone to flesh salve you need inside the strong box.
And we just sprint boost our way out of here. Hold 2 double slot weapons with material type. Any idea if dense would be useful? Does it take less damage from slimes or something? Or is it just like harder durability so it takes longer to damage? I don't really know the answer to that question. We're going to put this on 7. Okay. And after we kill these guys, we're going to put on our other ring. So that we can just kind of walk forward and let True Seeing do its job. We lose a little bit of cold, but that's fine. It's a Plague Reaper. Go away, Plague Reaper. And it looks like he's already found the secret passages for us, so we don't need to bother. We just need to run through everything and unstone people.
You have freed all of the coin lords from the Medusa's curse.
Okay, so the answer is they are harder, but I forget what hardness does besides, I think, reduce the rate that they take durability damage. I don't think hardness does anything else besides that. Like, I haven't run into any doors that are like, oh, you can't break this down because your weapon isn't hard enough. I've run into doors that you can't break down because you don't have enough strength, but not, like, weapon not hard enough. Probably still gets wrecked by oozes. Yes. I would agree that that is probably the case. Now we get to blow up a bunch of explosive barrels. That is a Carnage Reaper, so we got that going against us, which isn't nice.
This dusty chamber
All
appears to be
right,
some
up we
sort
go.
of maintenance room. A narrow tunnel filled with rushing water lies beneath the... Hestis the Medusa stands before you. She seems unconcerned.
We got a Medusa to fight.
But her snakes hiss and glare in your direction.
Alright, we're just going to stand over here and apply debuffs. I don't know exactly how much health she has, but it's a lot.
The Medusa gasps in horror as she catches a glimpse of her. The Medusa falls.
Oh, he actually did the
dooming Drone's
mechanic.
attack on the palace to failure.
Pull the levers so
Stop
that
their
she
plans
sees
for
herself in the
now,
mirror.
But the monster nation will surely return to threaten Stormreach again.
Alright, anything useful? Rock splitter. So, no. I don't know if you can get out the exit here. She can be. Like, if we were on Higher Reaper, like, I would definitely say that would be preferable to trying to chew through all the health. Especially when they can do all the extra force damage now. Alright, how many extra points do we have? We have 3 points. So we can either get vulnerability stacking, we can just get straight up damage on it. We can get... Alright, so we're going to put 1 point here for extra fort and extra damage, and 1 point here for extra damage. So consume is increased by 2d10, so 2d10 and 46, and 2d10 and 46. So basically, we go from 12d6 to 20d6, and we go from 2d10 to 6d10. So a large bump in the damage of those abilities. And because we had someone join us who was very quick, we did manage to get through all 3 of the quests in that chain before Twitch had its timer on ads run out on us. So it says it's going to force ads in like 20 seconds, so I'm going to run them now. We do this once an hour so that we don't get pre-roll ads, and it gives everyone, me included, a chance to stretch our legs, grab a drink. We won't run any quests, you won't miss anything, and I'll see you in 2.5 minutes. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Draenor or Giant Hold. Alright, and we're back from ads. We got up, we stretched our legs, we refilled our drink, we pet the dog. We need to figure out why the dog cam is operating at, 2 frames per second, but that's a question for another time. So, we have asked our party member if he has a preference for Myth Draenor or Giant Hold, because I don't think there's any other 12s that I really care to run. Yeah, what is it? It's Invaders. Yeah, we've basically hit all of the non-raid 12s. It's just Invaders and the capstone on Necro 3 and Relic of the Sovereign Past. Besides that, we've done all the 12s. So, moving on to 13s is the plan. But we are going to empty bags first, just because we don't want to get caught like we did earlier, and we can't grab quest items because we don't have bag space for them. So we'll avoid that again by making sure we sell stuff. And then we'll be on our way. I'm undecided on where to head next, but we'll figure it out. Either one is a good choice. So I might just choose arbitrarily. So we sold our stuff. Is there anything else we needed to grab from a bank or something? We're 14, not 15, so it's no big deal about where we're headed. Is there anything? Let's see. Do I have? I do have the aquatic bracers. Let's just double check the... Oh, we are wearing a Necklace of Prophecy. Okay. So even when we take off our ring for True Seeing, we don't lose out on cold. That's very nice. Let's see. We will grab a... excuse me. We will grab a socials item out of the bank, just in case we are hitting Crucible. But let's find an appropriate item. Assuming the bank wants to load for us, which I would appreciate it if it did. Any day. Thank you. I don't think I have Rana Leafheart. Is she the one that came with Myth Draenor? Like the druid hireling? No, I'm not too concerned. I can just swap the rings. It's not a big deal. I lose force spell power, so my tentacles are a little weaker in the meantime, but I'm not too concerned about it. Secret Deception, blah, blah, Buckler for Fallen Age, Resonation. This is just Diplomacy. Alright, so we can grab that if we need to. We don't need that. We don't need that. Keylock, we don't have that. Magnetism doesn't help us. Oh, that's right. We have the Helm. Do we have Compliance? Did I already pull it out on us? No. We will pull out the Sandstorm Glasses just in case we need search. We will pull out... Oh, that's right, I got a lot of stuff in this type. Spectacles of the Spirit Sight, we don't care. Got a Spell Absorb Cloak that we don't need. Ring of Silver Concord is not really worth carrying. There it is, Compliance. That's good enough. Charisma and 7 exceptional to all. It's no Golden Guile, but, we'll make do. we will pull out a Golden Guile as well, just because we want to have it on hand for after we actually have the levels to use it, but we are not rushing to have it. Alright, he hasn't said anything, so I'm going to head to Myth Draenor. Which means that we're going to go this way. And we're going to take our teleporter down to the Gatekeeper's Grove, and from there to Myth Draenor. Or Draenor? I think it's Draenor. Alright. And now we're going to grab all the quests. And then we'll be on our way. Now, are we going to finish the whole chain tonight? Highly unlikely. Incredibly unlikely, in fact. It is possible that we might finish the chain except for the 2 long quests. But bedtime is coming sooner than I think would allow for us to do the entire saga in one sitting right now. Move that there, move that away, and that away.
The spider-like creatures have been capturing elves traveling to the ruins of Myth Draenor. Now
there it is.
you can find some...
Heard it in the voiceover. Draenor, not Draenor. Short A. Alright, so we helped one elf.
The elf tells you his story. It seems that the Ettercaps take their captives to a great cave, somewhere deeper in the forest.
Alright. Just gonna kind of blast these down.
You found a cave, but it's too small to be the great cave where the Ettercaps take their captives.
Alright, I was about to hit sprint boost, but I know I'm gonna have to fight, like, right after I come down here, so. And these guys, I don't want trailing behind me, casting a bunch of random spells on me, so we do stop to kill that kind of stuff. Oh look, there's a captive over there. We don't care. There's no altar over there, so we don't care. Oh, and our displacement wore off, which is not great. It is not great, but we'll make do. The Ettercap Spitters do an unreasonable amount of poison damage, but we will again make do with that as well. Aw, it's very healthy, so I was hoping that the finger would just flat out kill it. Maybe that kills, maybe it doesn't, who knows. We did find a great cave. I'm hitting it first just out of habit because on release it was bugged. If you pulled all the levers before you found the great cave, it just straight up did not work. The quest triggers failed to load, and it was just like, okay, now that you found the cave, go pull the levers, which you couldn't do because they were already pulled. So they did fix that in like the next patch immediately afterwards. Ah, that is the benefit of SLAs. I know that I saw a bug post about them not getting their DCs. I forget which direction it was. It was either the SLAs had the right DCs and the spells didn't, or the other way around. Like, one of them had them and one of them didn't. Stop it. Here we go. Alright. Well, I don't know if he's actually going to be back. I said I was going to be AFK a bit. He said he was going to be AFK a bit. That was like 10 minutes ago. So, if he hasn't been around in 10 minutes, I don't know if, like, just life happened and he's not going to be around at all. So, we are finishing without him. Okay, so that would imply that the SLAs are improperly high. The question then is which ones are correct. Because based on the numbers I think I saw in the report, I was of the opinion that the lower one is wrong. Like it's just missing a big chunk. Like it's either it's not getting the stats, or it's not getting evocation bonuses, or it's not getting something. Or it's not getting base spell levels. But there is something going on with it which prevents it from, well, accurately doing what it needs to do. So we're going to go out this way. Start clearing more dungeons. Alright. Now, I've never quite figured out the exact route that I should take here. Because the place is big. So, because we could start all the way over here. Because that's where one end goes, and just go from one end to the other. But I think it's probably better to head here first, and then go one direction, and then we can teleport here and go the other direction. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go one way and then east, and then we're going to teleport to that same location and go west. And is that the most efficient way to do them? I don't know. But I do know that it puts the long duration ones at the end, which is beneficial because, as I said, I don't know if we're going to be finishing those tonight. We probably won't be, so it's advantageous to just not have to skip them in our routing. We just put them late in the routing, and if we don't get to them, then we don't get to them. We will get to them later.
This massive structure was once a banquet hall, home to countless nights of revelry.
Death host the banquet. This one has a lot of running. So this is why we are spending points into falconry pretty much exclusively for haste, for sprint boost.
Yet you hear faint sounds from up ahead.
You'll AoE this stuff down later with the other spawns.
Or something else.
Stop. And I believe it's on the right, not the left. We'll hurt them on our way through, and we'll finish them on our way back.
You hear someone calling out from behind a doorway blocked by a magical barrier.
So if you're not familiar with how the quest triggers in this quest work, you need to talk to them first to get the big guy to spawn in that big room that we came in on. And if you don't talk to him first, that guy won't spawn. So you'll run into the weird situation of it's like, well, I cleared this whole place, and I couldn't find the second crest. Well, yeah, because one of the crests will be there, but the other quest, or another quest, the other crest will not until you talk to him. Now, this room is a giant pain in Legendary and in Higher Reaper, because the archers hit like absolute trucks. And they're all over the place, spread out throughout the room. Something just hit me for like 200 evil damage, and I don't know what it was. I'm guessing it was one of the archers, actually, since the archers appear to be doing evil damage, not physical. Which is a bit weird. But, you know, it's not the weirdest thing. Toss down some tentacles there. Hopefully kill some dudes who are just chasing behind me. That's an optional. We're going to skip it. It's not really an optional, but takes very long, but we're skipping it anyway. Oh, look, something else that gets healed by cold. Certain colors of carrion crawler. There we go. Taken care of. And we got ghouls and whites and other stuff that's going to spawn here. All stuff that we can hopefully just drop tentacles on and go about our business. Blazing bones are skeletons and therefore immune to cold. There aren't that many types of things that are immune to cold, but skeletons are one of the types, and there are a lot of skeletons in the game.
The lever is pulled. You notice a
Okay,
distant
you
whine
get tentacled.
as the barrier above deactivates.
Spiders in here, or is it ghouls?
The lever is pulled. You notice a distant quieting
Okay,
as the barrier above
we go again.
deactivates.
Hey, hey. I said up. There we go. There we go. I love it when it like just bounces around like that. Oh, spiders. Hi. Please enjoy your tentacles.
The lever is pulled. You notice a distant quieting as the barrier above deactivates.
It is nice that Stricken actually hits hard now. There was, like, it hit hard when you first got it, and then it just kind of stops until you get the level 12 stuff. And then this is a bunch of archers. Yeah. Skeleton archers, my favorite. Dealing evil damage, and a ton of it to boot. You take like a third damage from me, and you hurt me a lot. Yay!
A faint sense of unease fills you. It's as though
He has
you're
lost his... I'll call it a guild tag. Perhaps his title would be a more appropriate way of saying it.
This crest likely fits the socket
Okay.
of a door mechanism.
Crest 2. Okay. We can D-door back. This just brings us to the end fight. And that Reaper will come if he's gonna come, and if he doesn't, then no big deal.
With both crests
There we
in
go.
place, the magic barrier fades away. Yet you're distracted by the sound of clacking.
What do we have? We got a Carnage,
A new
but we have lots of... Well, I was gonna say we have lots of temp health, except we got all of it taken away from us. At least the boss is not immune to cold damage. So despite being skeletal, he is not a skeleton, and so he takes actual damage. Okay. So this is one of the longer ones, but not like super long.
You found the icon of the dwarves.
Yeah,
bringing you
7
closer
minutes.
To unlocking the mystery of the key to the mythal.
Solar gem of
Turn
sneak
to
attack
the
damage.
cabinet to report your progress.
And bracelets of flourishing fauna, which has bone paws, 1% quality double strike. Ooh, 1% quality double strike. Really setting the world on fire there.
It's a banquet hall, home to countless nights of revelry.
Alright, now we'll head to the speculum. Because the speculum is the one you have to actually complete in order to unlock the teleport. So it's a pretty important one to get done. And this is why I'm glad that I didn't wait for this party member of mine to come back. Because... Alright, no, as always, thanks for stopping by, hanging out, all that. And we will be back on Tuesday, of course. But we're still going to be live for probably another half-hour-ish tonight as well.
In happier times, these messages would introduce you to
Alright,
our
get
organization.
tentacled.
The city under siege, we have different priorities.
Alright.
Report to the central
Fortunately,
hall
the 3 crests we need in this quest are not randomized. We know exactly where they're going to be. Well, we knew at one point exactly where they're going to be. I cannot guarantee that I remember. Okay. This one should be over here. Yep, grab it. Grab it and run. Then we gotta go upstairs. Okay. We'll kill the redneck. Did he just cast Acid Well? This is a level 15 quest. Why are you casting Acid Well at me? You shouldn't have that in your spell books yet. Oh, of course. I was like, maybe I can invisibility my way past these guys. No, sorry. The first thing you're going to run into is a champion with true seeing. So you may not do this. Like, oh. Alright. Do the tentacles work to crowd control them? Yes, somewhat. Should I bother staying here and killing them? No. But I wanted to. It was kind of late for me to back out, so I just chose to not back out. Alright, out we go. Fortunately, the water elementals are not immune to cold. Alright. Now that we have all 3 crests, just work on slotting them all in. Of course, this involves some guys attacking us, but we are no strangers to being attacked.
Our numbers dwindle. I have reconfigured the safe hold so it can be opened with these.
Getting slowed by the Reaper
Any might access
did reduce the effectiveness of this plan of gathering them all up, but, you know.
We continue to draw on the safe hold to keep the invaders at bay. Yet supplies there are getting low. We are almost out of spell.
Okay. So we will AoE them down. Soul of Ice takes less damage, of course. Oh. Helmed Horrors. Also healed by cold. Go figure.
Our defenses could not hold them back. The enemy is so thick on the ground we cannot even reach the castle.
We're really hugging that corner because if you go to the end of the hallway, more guys spawn.
Stand here.
You hear a muffled sound off in the distance, as if a door had been blown open by the wind.
Okay. Okay, you apparently did not get crowd controlled by the tentacles. It's very rude of you. Okay, if you'll excuse me. Could you not? This is what I get for trying to pull a bit too much. Like, we have decided that we're going to be immune to your crowd control, and we're just going to spam you with spells from range. It's just like, oh. Well, that's not ideal.
Portal flickers in the center of the chamber. Perhaps it leads to the safe hold, where the wizards kept their greatest secrets.
I am going to the safe hold. almost out of food, so we've decided to bring forth our last defense. Yet the risks are great. I can only pray to the gods that I will not be our undoing.
The safe
Get the debuffs running,
wizards kept their last
since he doesn't take much from.
Yet, whatever that last defense might have been, it failed.
Okay,
to keep
yeah, sure. Cast Ball of Fire.
The summoning was a success. Now to proceed to the binding. I'm certain the spell holding the demon worked. It's... By the gods! It's free!
Oh, I need to go interact with the guy.
Wizard's final defense was a powerful
I thought I did before the fight, but apparently I did not. So, back through the portal to click on the dude.
This statuette is the icon of the elves.
And there we go.
It's the object you were sent here to find. One of the 3 items related to control of the mythal. A quick examination shows that this drow elf was slain
Alright, so we're going to be heading north to this one.
creatures nearby. This must
Well,
be
mostly
the
north.
leader of the expedition.
North and just a little bit
Seems
west.
he never found the icon of the elves.
Castle Cormathar. At some point, once I've run these enough, I'll remember which entrance goes with which quest.
Castle Cormanthor overlooks the ruins. Strangely,
Ah, this one, okay.
passage of time.
This one is also somewhat longer.
Pause for a moment. Fascinated by what you see. Protective enchantments have kept Castle Cormanthor completely pristine, just as it was before the city fell.
So this one's got,
But this is no
you know, a bit of RNG to it for how long it
leading
takes.
The Red Wizard expedition is somewhere in the depths of this
But
castle.
we will see what
Must
we can do
stop
about
the
speeding it
Thanes
up.
before they can gain control of the Mythil. 3 empty thrones set into an alcove overlook this massive hall. This hall feels
So, I know, like, one of the first times I ran
the
this,
trappings.
I didn't realize that the first crest was in the room with him up top. It was like, find 3 crests, and it's just like, I'm still looking, I'm only finding 2, and I'm backtracking, I'm going through secret passageways. I'm looking all over the place. It's just like, oh, it was in the room with him to start with. I guess to show us what a crest looks like so that we can find them, the rest of them later or something? I don't know. There we go. Oh. Now we get to be delayed by waiting for this guy to stop being invisible so we can kill him. Any day now, Mr. Abishai. Maybe you should be Abibold?
The devil starts to
Alright.
fade the
It took a little bit longer because of guys going
summoned here.
invincible and stuff. Right. Crest 1.
Ildranath sighs as he gets to work.
Now time to go find the other 2.
Red wizards from accessing the
2,
power of
not
Mythil,
3.
while you
We already
find
found
and
one.
defeat the
I've had this problem before. Hi. Okay. We're lowering your MRR. We're lowering your PRR. We're not applying vulnerability because we didn't spend points for that. But it works out anyway. Alright, we're gonna just go down this passageway first. Hi. I want to AoE you down with these others. Alright, don't see any crests in there. Now, sometimes I think you can see them from the main entryway. But other times I think you actually need to walk in here in order to, like, target them. Alright. So there are actually 9 rooms that you can look in, and 2 total crests. Okay. Looks like the east side is a bust. Time to head across here to the northerns. Alright, it says there's a chest in there, so that's good enough for me to want to open this, just in case. Alright, experiment 1. And oh, that's just amazing. Okay, well that's not ideal. Losing 4 levels because he says, oh, you cast Death Ward because you're responsible and want to be safe. Well, I'm just gonna dispel that and then level drain you. It's like, oh, lovely. So now we're more like level 10 in a level 15 quest, which means we're going to have to play this a little bit more carefully, but we should still be able to do it without too much difficulty. It does mean that we might have to shrine at some point, because restored levels do just naturally regenerate, but not very quickly. So it might just be faster to say, you know what, we're just gonna take care of that. I'm starting to think I should have opened all the doors, because we have found 0 extra crests so far. And I don't know if you can have multiples down the same hallway. We're going to find out, though. Maybe you can. Alright, off we go. So I'm betting that positioning is what you can sometimes target from the main hallway. Ah, there we go. Big boost in HP there, because that brings us up to effective level 11, where our Reaper points can be effective again. We'll just take out these golems, no big deal. Alright, still not able to target the crest, which means we get to explore each room individually now. We tried to take a shortcut, and it has cost us time. Amazing how that happens sometimes. But we shall accept this punishment, and we shall grow stronger from it. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but we'll get through it. It'll work out, somehow, some way. Alright. Last charge of sprint boost. Which, of course, gives us another reason to want to shrine. We can get more sprint boost back. But, yeah, this is the trick about parts of quests that are like, and now look for the randomly generated things. It's just like, oh, yay! We love randomly generated locations. Well, to be fair, it wouldn't be as bad if I hadn't tried to shortcut it. I would have already found them by now. Probably. Not to mention, there is... Oh, there it is. Alright, so the question is, do we shrine or not? I think the answer is we shrine after we go downstairs. Because we have successfully managed to actually get our stuff done. And, well, that's a terrible way to put it. We have managed to take long enough that 2 of our levels came back. So we've got that going for us. And you know, we'll just pop one of these. Why carry them if we're not willing to use them? I should probably get more of them, but that's something we can do later. We can restock on our heal scrolls as needed. Now, the good news is... Okay, at some point my death ward wore off. So now I'm down another 3 levels again. Alright, so death ward. The thing taking no damage while its bone guard is alive. Well then. It is time to once again use one of these things that I carry with me for just such an occasion, although I should have waited like 3 more seconds. Because the penalty for healing in Reaper only applies when you're in combat, but when you're in combat, it's a bit of a squishy timing. So you really need to wait until a little bit after combat, and you can tell because you're going to see an animation change here. You see where it's like sitting here with our hands up, and when the hands go down, that's when you're out of combat, so you don't get your healing penalty. So if you didn't know the indicator, that's the one I use. I find it relatively effective. Oh. Well, we got our crests early. And then we'll shrine before the final fight, because the final fight can be a bit of a pain. Well, depending on how certain things go, it can be a bit of a pain. But I'm not too worried about it. Oh, hello there. You don't have a bone guard, so you get to die early. This should be the shrines. Hopefully, probably. It is. Let's see if I can shrine uninterrupted, despite the fact that I left some of the archers alive out there.
In this location, this might be a good place to rest.
Alright. So, the main things to look out for in this fight are, 1, if you don't have freedom of movement, the Lich can just straight up poke you and you get paralyzed. So, you really want freedom of movement. 2, you're gonna have to deal with the Bone Guard. I'm gonna try to drag him into this anti-magic zone. And also he's gonna summon like the little head things that do a ton of undodgeable evil damage. So that sucks.
You're back. Earlier I gave you an opportunity to save your own meager life. You should have taken it. Don't think you're capable of stopping me. You.
And once again, I'm being level drained.
And not just age. Azul
because they hate me.
What do you think you could do to stand against that? Nothing what you think matters.
Alright, here we go. Draining mouths. These guys are absolute bastards. Because they're just like, hi, take evil damage. Hi, take evil damage. Hi, take evil damage. And it's just like, stop!
Your last blow slams the gaunt form of the Lich across the floor. A disembodied voice fills your mind.
Now, one downside to shrining is that...
Only delay the inevitable. Destroying my physical form gains nothing. My soul is bound to my phylactery.
Okay. You see how much health I lost because there was a champion draining mouth?
Without my phylactery, you are
Well,
powerless.
one besides your mom.
Why would we
But
come here if you... The voice stops
I am nearly dead.
the Zulkir
This is what,
realizes
10 minutes?
what's going on.
13, yeah. Oh, I got a solar gem of healing amplification.
Smokes and cracks.
Nice.
You lay it on the altar to the Seldarin. A short-lived scream fills your mind just before
So yeah, so this quest is a little bit longer, and it took us a bunch of extra time because we got lost a bit.
opening the way for the elves to rebuild their ruined city.
How are we doing on time? We're doing okay on time. We're gonna head east now.
You wonder when you'll encounter the Red Wizards again.
And head this way. Over to... what is this? The ones, the seeds? No, the gems. Got gems first. So it looks like for the rest of this stream, we're going to do the eastern section, and we'll leave the western section for another time, probably Thursday. So, but we've still got like 4-ish quests left, so should be able to get all those done. Now this quest is a little bit misleading because it's got a bunch of optional stuff that you don't really need to do, like, at all. So we're going to take the direct route, which involves ignoring a lot of stuff. Because you don't actually need any of these side rooms.
A large stone pipe dominates this vertical shaft, drawing water from deep underground. The water froths as a gigantic water weir rises to the surface.
We just need to kill this guy. And whichever guys followed us down here.
The water weir collapses back into the water with a massive splash.
Oh, that's right. I have a swap item for this. Got aquatic bracers, and we're currently wearing these. So swap our aquatics for a little bit of extra move speed. Alright, lever 1. And lever 2 is also underwater, despite the fact that they've got all these other side paths and everything, all these extra rooms off to the side of that main hallway. But no, you don't need to go to any of those. You just need to come down here to the water and pull these two.
With the second lever activated,
now, we can't actually de-door out right now because, well, we're underwater and we can't cast underwater. But as soon as we get out of the water, we're just going to de-door back to the entrance and head the other way. So, up we go. Hey, look at us. Swap bracers back, de-door, recast this, and we're off to the races yet again. This time we go to the end and we turn left. First time we turned right. Now we turn left. Hey, it's open because we pulled the things. We ignore that. We ignore a lot of stuff. We try to ignore these, but we can't really. Because we get knocked down by the air elementals. Okay. Unfortunately, the Hound Horrors are dying to tentacles.
ripples in the water betray the presence of water elementals.
And we kill these. Alright, and we've got wraiths that spawned on us, which are not a threat, so we don't care. Okay, and back to swimming item. And once again, we need to pull 2 levers. Which side is it on? That side. Dodge the traps, or dodge enough of them to only take 1 hit.
First signal crystal flares into life. The lever is
Now we just run to the other side, and it's a very quick and easy quest. Once you know that, Like, there's a lot of optional stuff, but the direct route is very, very fast.
Throughout the water as the submerged gate opens. The spirit Naga uncoils itself from the throne above and begins slithering toward you. The creature hisses angrily.
Hi.
Those who come to disturb my
Let's start stacking some debuffs on you.
die by my fangs.
And hey, we went from doing yellow damage to doing orange damage, because debuffs are magic.
With a final sibilant cry, the spirit Naga falls lifelessly to the ground.
There we go.
You
5
find
minutes?
the phylactery
4 minutes.
nestled inside a delicate padded coffin.
Alright, and it looks like it, speaking of minutes, it looks like it's going to force ads on us in 1, so I'm going to click the button now, while we run through the wilderness to the next quest, and we will start it once everyone is back from ads in 2.5 minutes. As always, feel free to get up, stretch your legs, grab a drink, rest your eyes, all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you in a bit.
The dwarves built the House of
Now let's
as a
see.
place where
The next quest is just north of here. Unfortunately, this ad break didn't come when I had a long run to do. This one's a relatively short run, so that does mean that we will get a chance to ourselves get up and stretch our legs a little bit, which is nice.
The House of Song was a temple
Ah,
for
House of Song,
Dwar,
excellent.
the god of music
After this, we'll
and
have 2 more.
inspiration. It's said that at night, mournful music sometimes can be heard from within.
Alright. We should be back from ads. We have successfully made it to the House of Song. And as I mentioned somewhat during the ad break, after this we should have 2 more, I believe. The one with the seeds and the one with the drow.
Enter the House of Song, only to find that Ogma's temple is in the same state of disrepair as the rest of the city. Now,
All right.
the tests Zalira mentioned in her note. You only hope this icon of the humans hasn't already been crushed.
Alright, so we're going to go around to the right-hand side.
You enter the temple's main hall. Floating spiral staircase the House of Song was
Come
once
on.
known for.
There we
is
go.
now crumbling from years of neglect. Beyond it lies a sealed door with coloured crystals surrounding it. This note looks much more recent than anything else in
Okay,
the
come
ruined
on.
temple.
Pull the lever.
Perhaps it was written by the bard you were sent to
2,
find. Your
3.
melody echoes through the empty halls. When the notes fade, you think you can feel an
2,
aura of satisfaction
3.
from the House of Song itself.
1, 2, 3. Okay. Got it.
The nearby crystal lights up.
Oh, nope, not what I wanted. I did not want to grab that ledge. That ledge leads nowhere. It's just the Carnage Reaper beating me up. We'd prefer to not have that happen to us. Oh, it might help if we change back to our AoE blast. Alright, off we go. So I need to light more crystals.
Your melody echoes through the empty halls. When the notes fade, you think you can feel an aura of satisfaction from the House of Songs.
We really don't want these things just pelting us with force damage as we try to do this puzzle. I still haven't figured out or written down the fast way to do this. Not this quest specific, or not this puzzle specifically, but this, who are you looking at? You're looking this way. But, like, which rooms to do. Because you don't need all of them. Like, you need all of them if you want to... If you want to what? If you want to, like, do... I think there's an optional chest.
Your melody echoes through the empty halls. When the notes fade, you think you can feel an aura of satisfaction.
Right, so we want to get rid of these. Alright. So, like, I'm pretty sure going down here is slower than doing some others, but we're going to D-door after this one and check. Two, three. Right, easy enough. The one's on the right-hand side. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're gonna go left, I think. Let's see what we can see.
Your melody echoes through the empty halls. When the notes fade,
Okay, let's
you think you
see.
can feel an
You're at the
aura
starting
of
one.
satisfaction
Pointing
from
over
the House
here.
of Song itself.
No, you're not pointing over there. Well, which one are you pointing to? Okay, this one.
The way to the inner temple is now
Alright,
open.
there we go.
You must have
Now we can
praised
just
her
run our way back here.
at least a little.
The D-door really does make that one more, I won't say efficient, more convenient, we'll say. But that's really D-door's main thing is convenience. Convenience and speed. And sometimes, I won't say exploits, because exploit sounds like it's like working against the developers or something. This is like alternative problem solving. Which is very much a D&D thing. It's like, you're trapped here. It's like, or, hear me out, we could use this dimension door spell we have to just not. And And it's just like, oh, well, that's fine. And I think this is like approved of, or at least implicitly approved of, for things like, I want to say the last quest in Sharn 2. Like, clearly they didn't want you de-dooring out, because as soon as you pick up the Vaunt device thing, or the Stormreach beacon, that is, then, well, a dimensional anchor gets put on, which stops you from casting those spells. But if you just cast it before the anchor goes down, no problem. Of course, I don't think that's how dimensional anchors are supposed to work. I think they're supposed to block the travel itself, not the initial casting of the spell, so perhaps it's just one of those difference between pen and paper and a medium armor of the Warblade? What is the Warblade? Accuracy, deadly, demonic shield. Not bad, I guess, but the problem is the armor set is heavily contested, or the armor slot, rather, is heavily contested because Sharn exists. Let's see. That was the Ongulum. This is... oh, that's the portal. Alright, so yeah, so we need to go that way. We need to go southeast now. But yeah, so... it's like, great, it's a good piece of armor, and it's got, you know, augment slots in it, right? It's got a sun slot? It has a blue and a sun slot. So it's just like, okay, so you've got accuracy and deadly. That's nice. You've got demonic shield, which is really nice. But it's just like, okay. And I can get a full set bonus from Sharn in like 2 levels. So why? And there are lots of other sources of accuracy and deadly. I don't know. I might just be wrong on this. Like, this might be part of the power of the flexibility of having these separate augment slots giving set bonuses that you can work in other stuff, but the armor slots are really quite good out of Sharn, so getting something 2 levels earlier that you're gonna swap out is a bit tricky to me. Like, I don't know how much I'm gonna hold on to that sort of thing. Well, don't get me wrong, I will probably hold on to it because in games like this I hold on to entirely too much, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea, it just means it's something that I do. There's a difference between, like, well, I do it and you should do it. One is a statement of fact, the other is a logical evaluation, we'll say. Okay, we're just gonna leave. We got the seed in there, that's all we wanted. And we head to the right. There's some pudding there.
A look at the floor suggests that touching it would be a bad idea.
And a bunch of acid. I haven't seen this much acid since the last time I was at a concert. These oozes look like, or sorry, puddings, not oozes. Is that racist against slime monsters if I call a pudding an ooze? In any case, do the puddings look like fish fans? Because they're swimming in almost as much acid. Alright, we're just gonna kill these guys. Just because they're starting to give me Dungeon Alert, and I don't like Dungeon Alert. That's something that the devs were pretty effective at making bad. It's like, we're going to have this system that encourages you to not Ultra Mega Zerg, Ultra Mega Zerg all the time. And what does this system do? Well, you'll get hit, you'll get slowed, stuff will take less damage from you. Basically, you'll have to deal with all the things that you don't want to deal with. It's like, huh, okay, alright. I understand. what you're trying to get through. And I'm willing to deal with it in certain circumstances, but not others, which I think is what makes the system decent, is that you don't need to, like, panic avoid all dungeon alert all the time because it's just that awful. But by the same token, you can't just ignore it and be like, dungeon alert doesn't matter at all, because that's how you get to the end of a quest. And it's just like, how would you like to fight this red named now with your purple alert? He will take 10% damage from you. And he will hit for like a truck. Although it's mostly about the damage reduction. Alright, I'm missing one. And I forget which hallway it's down. Because it's one of these two hallways. Alright, so it is this one. I was like, I'm pretty sure the first one on the left doesn't have one. Oh, I have more puddings. And I haven't even eaten my meat. And there were some who don't understand how I could have my pudding if I don't eat my meat. But we have found a way. And the way is more pudding. Oh, remnant chest. Very nice. And we'll pop one of these heal scrolls because that's why we have them. Hell, we'll pop a second one. Okay, the second one is going to be slightly delayed. There we go.
Strange throbbing pod
And we
dominates
want
the
displacement
chamber.
up.
No doubt this
I said,
safe
let's
place
pop
to
2 at
see
a
the
time.
wonder, channeling its power into the strange pod.
I'm not quite feeling spicy enough to want to do them all at the same time. Okay, what do we have over here? Oh, shambling mounds. I see. And a Fear Reaper. That's the other reason I didn't want to hit all of them at the same time. It's like, the capacity for spawning a bunch of Reapers is very high. So, we'll hit these two at the same time,
A huge flame burst.
which does summon the boss.
Yet this thing was not allowed to ripen properly. This is not Moanda, just a flailing, empty vessel.
Okay, so... Oh, okay, we're getting kicked sideways. Oh, we already have 3 stacks from the Fear Reaper. That's not great.
Been destroyed, and the plan to revive Moanda
Oh, because there are 2 of them. We're now at 5 stacks from the Fear Reaper.
temples to the dead god. Who can say whether
Gotta love it. It's like, oh, there's a Fear Reaper. It's fine. I'll be fine. And it's like, no, there are 2 Fear Reapers. And you start to realize, I will very quickly become very not fine if I allow this to continue. And so we didn't. We're like, oh, we'll kill it. And then it's like, but I'm still taking damage. And that is not good. Okay, just turn this one in. And we're off. Next one is, yeah, is the drow one that's just over there. All right. We made it to our last quest of the evening. The guy that we were running the Lord's March quests with has reconnected. It looks like life did indeed happen to him.
Deep into the Underdark. Occasional signs of their passage show that you're getting close. The path ends abruptly in a sheer drop.
We don't need to do that. That's just a way to get back. Alright, we don't want to leave carrion crawlers alive and able to chase us, so we will stop to kill them. Oh wait, no, those are carrion crawlers, not the casters.
There's a small green leaf lying on the ground. One of the captives must be marking their path. A massive umber hulk claws its way out of the cave floor. Its insect-like eyes tracking your every move.
I'm gonna go behind you so you can't freeze me. Are you gonna try to stare at me? No, you're just gonna try to hit me?
The massive creature crashes to the ground.
Didn't work out well for you, but I mean, good effort, champ. Alright, Fear Reaper. Probably the most dangerous thing in this pack, but doesn't make that much difference. So anyway, we started blasting, which is really just what we do here.
Massive mushrooms blanket this cavern, making it a veritable forest. This small clearing shows signs of having been recently used as a camp.
Oh, interesting. You can pull that lever even with these guys spawning. So can I just leave? Just tentacle and leave? Alright. Excellent. And judging by our lack of dungeon alert, the tentacles killed a decent number of them, which is handy. Alright, so there's a Plague Reaper and a Carnage Reaper. Which we can conveniently kill while we back ourselves into a corner. Because for some reason I thought that we were at the end. We were not at the end. We still have to go and pull these two levers. Fortunately, it's a quick swim. It's not really difficult at all. The only risk is that somehow you're like swimming and the elementals are attacking you, and that's not a fun time because you can't fight back. But that's a much bigger issue on the other side here because it's a much bigger area, and because of what you're going to see here in a minute when we swim to the other end. So we're swimming, we're diving, and then we come out on the other side and it's just like, hi, we are water elementals. And we're going to attack you while you're swimming. And if you're melee, you're not going to be able to get to us because we're going to float over the water over here. And you're not going to be able to do anything about it. Except like try to kind of like weirdly, awkwardly jump at us. Fortunately, we're not melee this life, so it's not a problem for us. But it is annoying, especially since you notice that they did a good chunk of damage. It took 200 damage there, from almost entirely from the champion, but still. And now, we can go to the end fight. Use one more heal scroll. Just for extra safety. Because, well, they cost platinum, and I've got no other better use for the platinum than some heal scrolls to make things a little bit safer, just in case. So, why not? Okay, if this group didn't have a Reaper, I would have run past it. Yeah, like this group. We're going to run past it, because the end fight is right here, and they're going to talk for a bit, so I have time to... Okay, well, they can't get through that, I don't think. Can I heart them through it? No. Okay. If I cast this, does it hit them on the other side? No, apparently not. Okay. Buff ourselves with some temp health. Buff ourselves with a little bit more
hook horror drops to all fours with a confused
Okay.
squawk. And it
We're just gonna hold down mouse 1 on these guys.
fury fills the drow leader's eyes.
Okay. The boss has slightly more health, but
The light
not
goes
much.
out of the drow leader's eyes.
Note that she had like, what was that, 2,500 health? Whereas the end boss of Diplomatic Impunity earlier that I mentioned, well, was like really healthy. He had 10,000 health. And that can't be written off as just like, oh, it's an older quest, it's scaled
Captives give
differently.
quiet thanks as they're released. They quickly disappear into the mushroom stalks. Heading
Because
back
they
to the
redid that,
you
like,
dealt
relatively
with
recently.
and
Not super
freed the
recently.
captives. Time
Improved
to
deception on bracers, not bad. Assassinate and quality assassinate. 8 assassinate at level 13 is a lot. So that's actually very handy, because I am planning relatively soon on doing an assassin rogue using Shadarkai. So there's a good chance I'll be wearing that. But that does bring our stream to an end. So what are we going to do before stream end? Well, first of all, we're going to take level 15. Because we're not running any more 12s. We're going to be running 13s and 14s. And then we're going to find someone to raid to send y'all people over to. So, let's see. Paladin, Druid, Monk, Fighter, Barbarian, Sorcerer, Wizard, Warlock. Ah, yes, the floaty one. Do I have any more class skills? I might just put the 5 points in jump. 2 points in jump. Why? Because I want to be able to jump higher. I want to be at the level that I need in order to do platforming things. And while I would get that in epics from epic skills, I'm not in epics yet. So that doesn't help me. We couldn't get extend or heighten. Heighten isn't as good on warlocks. I think we're going to go to spell focus again. Just get greater evocation. And you might be wondering, why evocation? Like, all your stuff is not evocation. It's conjuration. Like, web, conjuration. Tentacles, conjuration. But blast is evocation. And while we don't have to deal with evasion because it's not a dex save, I do want to, well, not have things save against my blasts. So we learn Absolute Zero, which is just does not affect bosses, and it's just a straight up you go away, and it's a will save. So we're going to take that out. Is it in feats? There it is. Can we... Alright, so we can't quicken it, which I guess is fine. Alright. We get 1 more point of each of these, which is not going to make a ton of difference. I don't know why I didn't put points into spell pen. I do have spells that have spell pen checks. Alright, so we spent those. We have 2 more points here. So let's see. We can get vulnerability stacking. We can get 1, 2 enchantment, illusion, and necromancy, of which I'm only using necromancy. So that's not amazing. None of these are like super impressive, let's be real. But like we could just get one more charisma. So I think we're going to do that. We'll just get a charisma. There we go. So we need 5 more points before we can get up to this tier. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's probably how we're going to do it. And then we get Eldritch Wave. We get... probably that goes later. We get this. We get temporary hit points. We get our crit chance. And we get Eldritch Wave. Actually, we're going to get this entire top layer, but it'll be a bit before we get there. Now, obviously, we have gear swaps to be doing at 15. We'll probably do that off stream. Don't need to sit here and dig through my bank while everyone stares at me and is like, why is your bank so full? And, well, that's half of you. The other half are going to be like, wow, my bank is even more full. Because, yeah, you never know what you're going to need. But for now, we're going to see who else is alive. Let's see. Do I know any of these people? So I think we're gonna go with maybe this one. That is a lot of tags, and unfortunately, let's not throw you over there. All right, I've got 2 options. Okay, so we've got.
Absolutely. Can would they let me leave? Yeah, okay. I still can't leave.
We got a couple people just starting out. We got 2 in Korthos. Let's see. Who here likes Korthos?
That'll help out a lot in those skill buffs. Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna leave it off tonight.
Alright, let's double check our list.
I appreciate it. Like again, and if you're still around, I appreciate the raid. I appreciate everybody that came back, dropped the follows, and the support. Don't think the hype train went past level 1, but that's okay. I still appreciate this a lot. I'm just getting this thing started with this whole streaming on Twitch thing. And I pretty much stream whenever I can, whenever my signal strength allows for me to stream.
Alright, so we've got a Dragon Disciple person. We've got... You know what? I don't know any of these people. It's been like a month or 2 since I did it. I think I'm just going to throw you at Sin. Who is not playing anything related to DDO. But he's very entertaining. And they're doing Monster Hunter Wild tonight, which is a newer game that more people have been interested in, so. He's actually, the only weird thing is that he's much larger than most people that I would normally raid. And not like huge, we're talking like 30-ish people as opposed to like 5-ish. Let me just make sure I spell the name right. Okay, so we're just going to throw you all over there because I don't know where else to throw you. And I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, hanging out, and chilling, leveling, all that good stuff. So, as always, call to actions are annoying, but we do them anyway because they work. If you're not followed, but you would like to follow, you can follow. You can do all those internet algorithm things, etc., etc., etc. Thank you all for stopping by, for hanging out, for spending your time with me, and good night.